4 games remain for the Wings, and if they can win them all, there's still a possibility to make the playoffs. The first step is a win against Calgary in the home finale, now on PHL 17.
Wings Lacrosse on PHL 17.
It's time, Philadelphia.
The Philadelphia Wings still have a lot of lacrosse left to play this season, but they're going to do a good bit of it on the road for their final 3 games. They've got one last home game today for the season as they host the Calgary Roughnecks here at the Wells Fargo Center. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brian Smith alongside Scott Gabrielson. Welcome into the Wells Fargo Center for Philadelphia Wings lacrosse action. And Scott, this is a Philadelphia Wings team that has played a lot of close games this season. The record isn't what they'd hoped, but they still have a sliver of hope for the playoffs.
Sliver of hope. Yes, there's a chance. They can make the playoffs, but what they need to do is they need to win their last 4 games. Now, this is a team that's lost 3 games by 1 goal to Toronto, and as you see it here, 8 of their 11 losses have been by 2 goals or fewer, a lot of those in the waning minutes. And again, they've been outscored in the fourth quarter 52-40, so they've got to finish in that fourth quarter.
Now, like a lot of teams, the backbone for the Wings this year has been their captain and their leading scorer. Kyle Matisse and Kevin Crowley have really led the way.
The 2 guys to watch. Number 46, the captain, Kyle Matisse. He's the do-it-all guy for the Philadelphia Wings. He's had at least 2 points in every game this season. 64 points, 96 loose balls, 17 caused turnovers. He's doing it all. He's basically the man to watch, but complimenting him on that side as well is number 21, Kevin Crowley. Big, strong Dodger, great outside shot. He's got the hot hand so far this season, and the last 4 games, he has averaged over 6 points or more per game. So look for the big cat, Kevin Crowley, to do some damage tonight for the Philadelphia Wings.
The Wings are a young team, of course, being an expansion team. The Calgary Roughnecks are a veteran team, and they've got a lot of offensive firepower on that roster.
Yes, they do, and the guy to watch is number 44, Dane Doby. He leads the National Lacrosse League in points with 88 on 35 goals and 53 assists. He scores from everywhere, but he's most deadly on the power play with 10 power play goals and 14 power play assists. His partner in crime on his side is number 17, Curtis Dixon. Very dangerous. Look at this beauty right here. One-handed behind the back. The University of Delaware grad and 9-year veteran, is one of the top players in this league. And if you ask Coach Paul Day, he's one of the most difficult players to cover one-on-one in the National Lacrosse League.
Now, for all the scoring on this Calgary roster, there's more scoring in the East. The Philadelphia Wings have scored more goals than any team in the Western Division, and Aaron Dolan has more on that interesting statistic. Aaron?
One thing to note for this game is that the Wings have scored 163 goals in 14 games, whereas Calgary has scored 162 in 15 games. So this is an example of how the Eastern and Western conferences differ in the NHL. Now on the Eastern side, they play more open and they're a little faster, and on the Western side, they are playing more physical, but their defense is definitely stronger, so that's something both teams will have to adjust to. Brian?
Well, the Philadelphia Wings have relied on their defense quite a bit. They're going to have to defeat a very tough defense in this Calgary Roughnecks team tonight. We'll have Wings and Calgary coming up from the Wells Fargo Center in just a moment here on PHL 17. Wings Lacrosse on PHL 17 and BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. It's Kids Day here at the Wells Fargo Center with the Wings. Let's go down to Aaron Dolan for more on the festivities.
I am joined by former alum Kyle Sweeney, who brought his children here for Kids Day. What does it mean to you to be able to come back and show your children the Wings community?
It's awesome. I grew up in the Philadelphia market, so it's really special to me. The last game that he was at, he was only 6 days old, so it's really fun to be back, and now I have all 3 of them here and my wife, so it's really special. My family still lives in the area, so it's really important.
And if your kids could leave with one memory from these games, what would it be?
I just hope that they enjoy the experience. I mean, the Philadelphia market, the fans in this market are better than anywhere else in the league. So I just hope they take away and they have a good time with it and really just see the passion that the Philadelphia fans have.
Well, we're excited to have you back. Back to you guys.
Almost set to go here at the Wells Fargo Center. Let's take a look at today's starting goalies, brought to you by Inspira.
Well, for Philadelphia, it's going to be Doug Buchan again in the cage. .77%. He's done quite well. And then you got Christian Del Bianco for Calgary, one of the top goalies in the league. He's a guy that actually Coach Day compares to Philadelphia Wings legend Dallas Elliott. So that's some fine company to be in.
Big day for the Courier family. Aaron Dolan is downstairs with Josh Courier.
Josh, you are facing off against your younger brother. Tell us about this rivalry.
I'm very fortunate to have a lot of friends and family at the game today, but it's just another game for us.
Best of luck to you. Back to you, Brian.
It's easy to say that, Scott, but I'm sure they're a little more excited than that, as Josh Courier, of course, is one of the Wings' offensive threats. His brother, Zach, is just a workhorse for this Calgary team. Leads the league outside of face-off men and loose balls.
Yeah, what a great story to see those two going against each other, and we'll talk about them later. But you got Derek Classic going against Coach Paul Day, two guys that have played against each other in this National Lacrosse League, and now they're behind opposing benches.
Kurt Mulaski played many years for Paul Day, and you can bet he knows his tendencies. We'll see how it translates to the game action today as we are underway here in the first quarter. Wings and the Calgary Roughnecks here today at the Wells Fargo Center on Kids Day, the final home game for the Wings this season. An early save by Doug Buchan, and the Wings with their first possession of the game here is Kevin Crowley will set up on the left wing.
It certainly is something to watch. We talk about the Courier brothers going at it. I think it's a great story. Number 27 in black, Josh Courier is really the offensive player, and Zach, number 77 for Calgary. He is the ground ball machine, leads the league in ground balls with 166 for non-face-off men. So they're going to be matching up against each other. That's going to be something fun to watch here, see who gets the best of each other. Who gets the bragging rights of the brothers Courier.
I understand is that they've played together before in outdoor settings and other leagues, but you can bet that these don't come along very often, especially with the geography between these two teams. Here's Kyle Matisse trying to work it in. A shot just wide of the net. Long rebound will be grabbed and controlled by Reese Callies, and he'll carry it up the field. Callies dishing it off, and here's one of those threats, Zach Courier, who is going up against his brother in this building for the first time. He will leave it off, and Curtis Dixon will get things going.
Again, players to watch for Calgary: 44 Doby, 17 Dixon, and then Reese Dutch, number 18. He's been dangerous. He's the second leading scorer for Calgary.
Got a delayed penalty coming up here on Philadelphia, and we will get the whistle now, and we'll see what we got. Tracy Pulaski, Kurt Mulaski, excuse me, the coach of this
number 15,
Calgary team, who again has some familiarity with the wing side of things.
In the box already, Philadelphia penalty. A stick hold on Matt Bennett.
So we'll get a look here at this power play, and just like that, the Calgary Roughnecks are on the board as Reese Dutch finds the top left corner. So it didn't take long on that power play for Calgary to get on the board first. It's 1-0.
Calgary has some prolific scores on the power play. They're just under 50% efficiency. Look at that, just sets up top side, time and room. Reese Dutch right there, number 18, overhand shot. Buchan gave him that upper left-hand corner, and he just pasted it. Great shot by Dutch from outside on the power play.
And that's been one of the areas that the Wings have hoped to improve as the season goes on, is the penalty kill. It's been a bit of a thorn in their side. They aren't able to do so there.
That's Dutch's 10th power play goal on the season. Now he's tied with Doby for most points or most goals scored on the extra man.
Another face-off win for Tyler Baptiste, who is inching closer to an NLL record for rookies. Really is within reach of the overall record. Baptiste has been just a complete bear in the face-off circle so far this season, and those of you who follow the game for years probably aren't very surprised. He became one of the best face-off men in lacrosse history in any version of the sport.
Yeah, you look at that stat, Trevor Baptiste, University of Denver product, really the top face-off man, certainly in the NCAAs, and also making a name for himself very quickly in the National Lacrosse League.
Matt Rambo caught across the front there, and loose ball picked up by Matisse. He walks in, Matisse fakes, shoots, and a save made by Del Bianco. Ball is loose and now picked up by the Roughnecks, and they will outlet.
Great offensive move by Batiste, a little shake and bake from left to right, gets in front of the net, fake finish, and then it hits the pipe, I believe. Let's take another look at it. He's coming left to right, think he's gonna pass, and then the C's just part from fake finish. Unfortunately can't do it, hits the pipe. A great save right there on Delbianco.
Wings regain possession off a shot wide of the net at the other end, and they'll set up now as Crawley moves it into his offensive end. Looking for space is Jordan Hall. He tried to work it out in front. Blaze Reardon was there, but he couldn't handle the pass. And now we're going to get a whistle on a Wings possession on a push. Crawley will restart here at the top of the left side of the box. Works it down low. Courier. Now to Matisse on the left side. Matisse working in, gets a shot away. Save made by Delbianco, one of the hot young goaltenders in this league. Now another shot stopped by Delbianco. He got a piece of that low one. And Calgary coming the other way with it. This is Zach Courier. 2-on-1, Courier holding, looking. Now he'll feed it out in front. Save made by Buchan. Courier got the loose ball. Now he loses his stick and the ball all at the same time. Calgary will recover. Chad Cummings there to keep possession for the Roughnecks.
Great forecheck by Kevin Crowley to turn that over. The Wings couldn't get the ground ball, however, back to Calgary.
Here's Doby, nifty move to put it out in front. Looking at some video on this team, Scott. They like to throw the ball behind their back almost as much as they do normally.
Yes, they do. It's a Canadian-laden roster. Guys have been playing this indoor game their entire life. Incredible stick skills. Their backhand is basically their offhand, and they're deadly accurate with it.
Crawley looking for a lane, gets a shot away, a save made by Delbianco. He's not sure where it ended up, and his defense rushes in to pull the loose ball free out of the crease before it rolled anywhere near that goal line. This is Tyson Bell working by himself in the Wings end, and now reinforcements will arrive. Bell will leave it off and head to the bench. Doby to the right side. Dan Taylor now with it. They work it around. Taylor found Dixon. Now back to Doby. Doby's shot on net is picked up and held by Doug Buchan. And the Wings will break out. Evans biding his time as the Wings change up the personnel. Now he gets in the zone. Matisse, who's got a step. He moves in, and a save made by Delbianco. Net is off. Ball is loose, and now play is whistled dead. And we get a timeout on the field. 9:27 left to go in the first period. Calgary with the only goal so far. Reese Dutch, dangerous for this team throughout the season. He gets the power play tally there. It's 1-0 Calgary here in the first. Wings Lacrosse on PHL 17 and BR Live is brought to you by Wild Numbers family of tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. By Under Armour and by Yuengling Traditional Lager. Final home game of the year for the Philadelphia Wings here at the Wells Fargo Center, but there is a whole lot of lacrosse to be played here as head coach Paul Day and this organization look forward to the second season of Wings Lacrosse. Still 3 more games to play all on the road, but next year you can join our family. Wings season ticket memberships for the 2019-2020 season are available now and include exclusive benefits, ticket exchange programs, special team experiences, and events. Call 215-952-LAX1 or visit wingslax.com now for more info on how to join our family for next season.
It's been a great season down here at the Wells Fargo Center. The Philadelphia Faithfuls averaged over 11,000 fans per game. It's always a raucous crowd. It's known as a very educated lacrosse town and always a hard place to play in if you're an opposing team.
Liam Patton drops the ball and gets a stick to the back for his troubles, and that's going to draw a penalty. Wings are going to go up a man here as Doug Buchan heads to the bench, and we'll get a delayed call. Josh Courier is going to see what the Wings can set up here. Over to Crowley, back to Courier. Courier across, a shot, and a save made by Delbianco as he gets to the left post and shuts the door. But we get the whistle and the penalty coming up here on Calgary.
Calgary minor penalty, 2 minutes, illegal substitution.
So they nabbed the Calgary bench there as Blaze Reardon had a great opportunity during the delayed call. And Kurt Malowski not too happy with the circumstances. Not sure if you're more upset with your team or the judgment call there, but
take a look at this matchup right here. Calgary has the top man down defense in the league, while Philadelphia is on the opposite end on the power play. Let's see if they can break that ice here in the man advantage.
Yeah, I misspoke earlier. The Wings penalty kill has not been a problem. They're actually 5th in the league. It's their power play that's been a little bit off the mark for them this year, but they'll see if they can improve that here as they look to tie things up. 8:28 left to go here in this first quarter. The first bid on Del Bianco is stopped, but a great play to interrupt that outlet pass by Courier. They will take possession, though.
Here's a shot by Rambo. Clangs it off the pipe.
Yeah, it looked like that ball bounced pretty fast off of there. I wasn't sure if the goalie got it or the pipe got it, but it was the iron for Rambo, and now Calgary will try to kill some time here. A shot goes wide of the net, and the Wings will get the rebound. Liam Patton will wait for the change here as the Wings have a minute left to go in this first power play opportunity for them in this game. Courier thought about the shot. Now he'll drop it off to Crowley, who's always thinking about the shot, off to Jordan Hall, and they'll work it around. Matt Rambo comes around to pick, looking for a lane. Rambo with the shot, whistled just wide to the far side. Long rebound will end up in the Calgary bench. So that'll be Roughnecks ball. 39 seconds left to go on this power play, and Calgary's going to try to gobble up a good bit of that here, as Dane Doby's just going to wait for things to settle down, and now they'll look to move in. Dutch back to Doby, and they feed it in the zone to Dixon. Dixon with the shot. Save made by Buchan, and the rebound controlled by the Wings. Calgary has been a little bit dangerous on shorthanded goals, but they've given up a ton too. They've given up 9 shorthanded goals this season, so the Wings will look to take advantage of that should they be down a man again. Penalty time winding down, and now will expire here as the Wings get set up. Crowley sends it far side. Reardon works it back to Hall, and now for Crowley.
Well, another nice defensive stop on the man down for Calgary.
Shot clock's going to wind down and expire here as Jordan Hall chased the ball with a couple of Roughnecks on the far side. So Calgary will take over.
One of the things we're talking about already today is the play of Christian Del Bianco. He wears number 35, and that's no surprise because his favorite player and idol growing up was Dallas Elliott, and that's what Coach Day and a lot of executives in this league compare Del Bianco to, the great Dallas Elliott. So tremendous comparison to the young goaltender for Calgary. And you look at so far in this game, he's been the story. He's a very more of an athletic type goaltender. He doesn't sit there. He moves his arms, makes saves with his sticks, with his stick, elbow, and hands.
My understanding is not a lot of goalies play that style anymore.
They do not.
You see that athletic kick save there.
Yeah.
A lot of guys will just stand there and let that hit them.
Most goaltenders you see, such like a Doug Buchan, just kind of sit back and absorb some shots. Where Del Bianco, he's getting creative, and look at that step and a shot, kick save and a beaut.
Meanwhile, Doug Buchan uses his technique to stop that bid from the Roughnecks on the far side, as Reese Dutch had the opportunity. Teams kind of feeling each other out here as we approach the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. It's just 1-0 Calgary to this point on a power play goal by Dutch. Now here's an attempt from behind the net that was not quite turned enough by Jordan Hall. Had the top corner, but he couldn't quite turn the stick enough to get it there. Tyler Burton works his way up the field, and now the Roughnecks will get set up. Moving in from the line is Simpson. Now the Roughnecks try to get through some traffic. A shot whistled well wide of the net. Simpson will get that back.
New 30-second shot clock for Calgary. Really putting the pressure on Philadelphia right now.
Another one of those backhanded attempts by Dane Doby whistled wide of the net, and that's something Buchan's going to have to be aware of tonight, as you never know where that ball's coming from. Wings will set up as Courier will bring it into the offensive zone and wait for the final substitution, which is Matisse. Now here's Matt Rambo. Back to Courier. Courier juking, trying to get around a man. Gets the shot away, missed it wide. Rebound bounced off the end boards, and then Blaze Reardon was relieved of his stick as he tried to get to it. Now we've got a whistle. And we're going to get a timeout on the field with 4:01 left to go in this first quarter. Wings trying to tie it up, but Del Bianco, to this point, has been able to shut the door. See if they can't. Wings trail the Roughnecks 1-0. Let's go downstairs to Aaron Dolan, who's with Paul Day.
Coach, last home game of the season. What can fans take away from this season?
Oh, we're a group that really competes hard every night. I think we've done that every single game, and we're going to continue competing hard and try and get that last playoff spot.
And you have a young team. What does the future look like?
Yeah, this is Isaiah is in tonight. It's his first game of the year. That's our 11th rookie that's been in the lineup. So it's a real young team, and the future's really bright here.
We wish you the best of luck. Back to you, Brian.
Thank you very much, Aaron. The Calgary Roughnecks, a veteran team, Scott. The Wings obviously are not being an expansion team, but this might be a model of what they're going to turn into.
Absolutely. I agree with Coach Paul Day. The future is very bright for the Philadelphia Wings. They do have a young team. These guys are getting better every game. The defenders, I mean, there's 6 defenders that are out that started the season right now, and they continue to put new players in, as Coach mentioned. Isaiah Davis-Allen in his first start of the season in the last home game, rookie out of the University of Maryland. He's an American player. It's his first start, and you've got American players that are playing for Philadelphia.
Well, Dane Dobie gets away from a man and is able to pick that top corner again. That seems to be his spot of the day, and Dobie puts the Roughnecks up 2-0 here with just about 3.5 left to go in the first quarter.
Well, he's dangerous from the left-hand side, kind of a Matisse trying to catch his stick on his way in. But again, ground ball off the boards, a little face dodge, and then he just puts that ball over the shoulder of Buchan with a little push shot. It doesn't have to be hard, it just has to be accurate, and he finds rope over the shoulder of Buchan for a great goal for Dane Dobie.
Buchan kind of dropped him, gave him that corner, and you could see his reaction. He was kind of upset with himself for doing that. But you got to try to decide which way you're going, up or down, and he chose wrong on that one, unfortunately.
Back to the theme about the Wings and being young, Isaiah Davis-Allen, Matt Rambo, Trevor Baptiste, Justin Gutterding, all American players, rookie players, to go with a number of defenders that are just really starting to learn this great game of indoor lacrosse, and they are learning it. They're getting better, and I think the future, as Paul Day said, is bright in Philadelphia.
And when you look at this Calgary lineup, you go up and down the lineup, you got guys that have been here for 5, 6, 9 years in some cases, and I think that's what the Wings are looking to do. As we get one of those guys that's been here for quite a while, Riley Lowen, off a nice feed from the left side, is able to put it through the legs of Buchan, and now it is 3-0 Calgary. Just under 3 left to go here in this first quarter.
Lowen sets himself up. That's his 16th goal on the season. Again, a veteran player. Look at a cross pass to a one-timer, just a quick stick from that far side by Lowen. Let's see, Buchan trying to get to that far side. To shut off that far pipe, he's got to take a big step, and Lowen beats him 5-hole for his first goal today.
Credit to Lowen for finding that spot, because that's probably all he had to shoot at from that angle. So the Wings now down by 3 as we get a whistle and a violation off the faceoff. It's going to give the ball to the Wings.
One thing Coach Paul Day has done today when he put together his roster, he has 11 different defenders playing and really only 5 pure forwards, 4 transition players. So strategically, he's trying to beef up his defense, keep his defense fresh, because that's really where all the injuries have been for Philadelphia, is on the back door.
Got a delayed penalty coming up here on the Wings. They did just catch a break because it looked like the Roughnecks were going to get a breakaway, but Tyson Bell dropped the outlet pass from Del Bianco. So the Wings were able to recover, but we do have this delayed call coming up here. Here's Dobie looking, got a man out in front. The shot was partially blocked before it got in on Buchan. And now we get the whistle, and we're going to have another Calgary power play here with 2:05 left in this first quarter.
Philadelphia penalty number 29, 2 minutes legal body check.
So Liam Burns is the guilty party. get a look at it here as Burns got the shoulder in on Bell.
Bell wasn't looking. That's probably why they called it. Got him right in the chest. It looks like it could have worked, but leads to a goal for Calgary.
Another quick power play goal for the Roughnecks. And it's another goal for Riley Lowen, who's got a couple now here in this first quarter. Wings out shooting the Roughnecks 11-8, but they are down 4-0.
Just ball movement, passing the ball around, little flip behind his back. Lowen creeps up, gets some angle in front of the net, and just buries the shot. Doby again, another power play assist. Lowen just sees his spot. Deadly accuracy, great goal by Lowen, his second of the night.
We are going to get a goaltending change here for the Philadelphia Wings, and it's going to be Goa Abrams heading in between the pipes for the first time as a member of this team. As the Roughnecks scored 2 power play goals in a combined 17 seconds on their first 2 power plays. They got it done quick. And Abrams replaces Buchan. This will be the first time in 5 games that Buchan has exited. He played the last 4 the entire game, whistle to whistle. Wings did this quite a bit earlier in the season, using 2 goalies in a game.
Abrams, another rookie that's seen action for the first time. A big goaltender, good size, who fills the net well.
Courier with a shot that whistled wide. Hall will get to that loose ball. Goa Abrams joined the team a couple of weeks ago. David DeRusio on the physically unable to perform list. His full name is not Goa. His full name has about 15 more letters than that, but we can only fit Goa on our screen, so we'll go with Goa.
I thought you were going to give that a try there, Brian.
I know it starts with an H. That's about all I can do. Here's Doby moving in, and he gets a nice jumping shot off and a goal in the top right corner. As Doby welcomes the new goaltender to the game with a tally on the first shot. It is 5-0 Calgary.
Well, Philadelphia, there's your National Lacrosse League leading point scorer right there in Dane Doby, and you're seeing why. Trying to give him the baseline, which he takes easily. Acrobatic goal, late slide, diving across the crease, pulls it across his chest, buries it in the upper right-hand corner as he's going, diving left. Great goal by Dane Doby.
Doby is, again, the NLL's leading scorer. He's the franchise scoring leader here in Calgary, 839 points over his career. He's averaged 4.79 points per game over 12 years. That is hard to do. We do have a penalty here on Calgary.
Calgary 55, minor penalty, elbowing, an additional 2 minutes, unsportsmanlike conduct.
So the Wings are going to get some power play time here as Mitch Wild gets an elbowing penalty and a little more for expressing his opinion on the matter.
Let's see if the Wings can break the ice here today on the power play.
Here is Crowley working with Hall. Hall with a whistler that went wide of the net. Wings get the loose ball back though. Crowley over for Rambo. He'll take a bid, and Del Bianco stops that, allows no rebound. Del Bianco thought about the home run pass, but instead will drop it off short side. And Eli Salama will maneuver up the floor and now leave on the change. Calgary just killing some time here, of course, on the power play with 10 seconds left to go on the shot clock. They'll take as much of this as they can. Doby feeds it down low, and a interesting looking shot.
Yeah, Dixon again tries to do his behind the back, which he was successful with last week.
Here's Kyle Matisse with a bid, and that one shoulder saved by Del Bianco. As we get the long pass at the horn, and that's going to do it for quarter number 1. So the Calgary Roughnecks get all the offense in that first period. Reese Dutch starting things off on the power play. Another power play goal in quick succession, and Del Bianco has held things at the other end. It's 5-0 Roughnecks after 1. There's a baby race going on here at the Wells Fargo Center. It looks like they might have to shorten it because none of these babies are moving all that much. But they get a pretty nice audience here as the Philadelphia Wings play their final home game of this 2018-2019 season First quarter has not gone the way they'd hoped, but still plenty of lacrosse left to be played. It's 5-0. Beauty Meets the Brains weeknights with Philly's favorite comedy. Catch up with your favorite science bros on The Big Bang Theory weeknights at 6:30 and 7 right here on PHL 17. Well, Paul Day's trying to get his club going from this 5-0 deficit and had a little bit of a chat in between the two quarters.
So your body's got to turn that underneath. You're directing them high. If you're high, your body turns the other way, directing them down. That's simple, fellas.
Some thoughts there on how to try to slow these down. Scott, we've been talking about it all day, the two especially highly powered offensive threats on this Calgary team. How do you slow these guys down?
Well, he's trying to tell you how to stop Dane Doby right there. They're giving him too much. You have to square your shoulders, play him straight up instead of giving him the baseline. He's too quick for that, as you've seen with a couple goals so far tonight. He sets up lefty, dips righty, comes across the face of the goal, and scores. The defenders have to eliminate that lane to the goal.
Doby was involved in 4 of those 5 goals. He scored 2 of them, has 2 assists. Riley Lowen with 2 goals and an assist, and Del Bianco with 13 saves in that first quarter.
One strategic move that coach has made today is Kyle Matisse is playing offense only. He normally plays OD, so they're trying to get some production out of Crowley and Matisse in the 2-man game on the right-hand side.
Shot from Crawley from the high side, stopped by Del Bianco, got a piece of it, and they continue to move it around, and a goal post again. Second post the Wings have hit in this early going so far. No luck in that realm, and Calgary's going to control the other way. Just keep shooting. That's all you can do.
Absolutely. You know, that's the way the game is going right now. The Wings are not getting the breaks so far. The pipe is your friend when you're a goaltender.
15 shots so far for the Wings to just 9 for Calgary, but some irons gotten in the way, and Del Bianco's been able to get in the way of the rest of them. Dixon tried to swing a low one around Adam Ozika and couldn't get the shot away, and Wings are going to end up with possession as Ozika will take it up the right side.
And let's remember the Wings are on the power play. It's a 5-on-4 situation. You really see the effectiveness of Calgary. 4 men, not a lot of motion or movement, just kind of packing in and matching up with the Wings offensive players.
Crowley takes the pass to the right side. Hall faked the shot, goes back to Crowley. He gets a shot away. I think that was partially deflected out of his stick, but the Wings are able to recover. On the far side, here's Courier with gets it in. They do count that. Josh Courier with the acrobatic move, and it caught iron or spun out or something, but it crossed the line, and the Wings are on the board. It's 5-1.
Yes, sir. What a move by Josh Courier. See him set up righty, rolls to the inside, sets up his defender, then rolls to the inside and leaps across the front of the cage from right to left, coming right, and then just picks that lower corner off the pipe and in. Great goal, acrobatic goal by Josh Courier.
We might get a review on this one, as I think that hit both posts, Scott. We're going to get they did throw the flag, and Kurt Malowski wants to review this one and challenge it really officially.
And that's fine if he does. You can see the ball hit the net before it hit the pipe. So it hit the far right pipe, bounced in, broke the plane, hit the net, the other pipe and out.
It is the world we live in with all these cameras and stuff like that. You watch from where we are. We're basically on the 8th floor of the Wells Fargo Center. We have quite a bit of distance, and you look down there and you see the ball do something strange off a shot like that, and we have to kind of speculate until we can get another look. And now we're going to get a good long hard look at this to see what exactly happened here. But Josh Courier, again, a big game for him, no matter what he told Aaron Dolan at the start of the game, playing against his brother Zach, and a lot of friends and family, we understand, are in attendance tonight. He wants to try to get some bragging rights. He doesn't have many right now. There you do see it. Grazed the net. It does hit both posts, but
broke the plane.
Somehow it broke the plane and doing the same way. I don't know if you've ever had a lacrosse ball in your hands, if you've ever thrown it around your house or in your driveway or whatever. They do funny things. They'll get backspin, and then when the ball bounces, the spin goes the opposite direction. And it results in things like that, I think, because once that ball hit that right post, it starts spinning back the other way, and then it hits the other post and spins back out. It is a very interesting exercise in physics.
Yes, it is. And that's exactly what happens. You see it as it hits the pipe, it bounces on, it hits the turf on the inside of the plane of the goal and then brushes the net. Without a question, this is a goal, and just a beautiful goal by Josh Currier. And again, just to kind of continue on with the Currier family here, Zach played right up the road about an hour at Princeton University, one of the top players in the country when he was there. Again, just a grinder type player, Zach. But Josh, he's a Virginia Wesleyan grad, the all-time leading scorer there, 88 goals as a senior. This is a guy that can put the ball in the net. Two kind of opposite players, Josh being the offensive specialist and Zach being the defensive specialist.
So I'm not sure if they have any idea exactly what's happened on this shot, but my question is, if they don't have the conclusive evidence to overturn it, the call on the field would stand. That's my understanding.
Yes, and it is a goal. I'm surprised why it's taking so long, because he launched well beyond the crease, so there's no foot fault there. And it blatantly hit the net.
This whole thing is a bit of an MC Escher drawing, because the way that ball flew across, it shouldn't have been able to hit the net, but it did. It's just a little remarkable. You see Currier comes around the corner, gets around Salama, and then he takes to the air, and now he finally gets the shot away. And Del Bianco took a little bit of the brunt of that impact, but it was an immediate call from your referee on the right side of the net.
All right,
arms went in the air.
Could they be looking at, does the ball hit the play in the goal before he hits the crease?
That could be what we're looking at. That's another thing. If you're in the air and the ball goes in before you land, you're good.
Look at his feet.
The shot clock is also a factor. As we get a look at it here, you see it's at 0 at that point. That could be the problem. One, when it hits that post, it gets reset, but it has not hit the post yet.
My God, but it's.
Did it hit the goaltender before that?
Did the ball leave his stick before the shot clock expires?
So we got all sorts of factors at work here.
Yes, they are. Now I get it. Okay.
It's a good thing you played this game a long time. Hey, what were you doing 30 years ago tomorrow? Do you know?
Probably winning a championship.
You were winning a championship. The anniversary of the Wings' first championship across the street was 30 years ago tomorrow at the old Spectrum. A big day in lacrosse history, and I think we have a ruling coming here, finally, at field level.
After review, the 30-second expires prior to the ball crossing and playing to the goal. The call on the field is overturned, no goal.
Wow.
So there you have it. Wasn't even what we were looking at, was it?
No, it is not. No, it is not. So there you go. That point's coming off the board. It's going to stay 5-0 Calgary. They're saying that the ball did not leave his stick before that shot clock expired.
So continued lack of luck for the Philadelphia Wings early on here as they've hit 2 posts and they now had a goal reversed. And so they'll continue to trail 5-0. They will stay on the power play. That would have been a power play goal, by the way, after all that. Calgary elects to take a shot, and we'll get another possession going the other way. Aaron Dolan has been watching all this from field level and has a little more on what just happened. Aaron?
Well, the Wings bench was definitely quiet after the first with that 5-0 start. The coaches were trying to amp up their players, but they just looked frustrated. And of course, with Josh Currier's goal being reviewed and it not being counted as a goal, this is another early disappointment. The only good thing they can take away is they had a little bit of time to collect themselves and talk to their coaches. Guys?
Yeah, we always say shake it off, right? Have a short memory, kind of like that. What's done is done. So let's look forward, tighten it up, put the ball in the back of the net.
They've got the leadership on this team to help pick them up a little bit as loose ball kicked over to Kyle Matisse. Wings will regain possession, but the shot clock continues to wind down. Now Hall gets one in and he scores. Jordan Hall from right out in front goes low, and he finally solves Del Bianco, beats him through the legs, and the Wings will be on the board this time. It's 5-1.
No doubt about that one. Great play by Josh Hall, just setting up in the crease. Look at Crowley drawing attention to 2 players. Hall catches right in front of the net. Little fake, great finish. Look at it here. Catch high, shoot low. beats Del Bianco to that right-hand post. Great goal by number 44, Hall.
Jordan Hall out of the University of Delaware, part of the greatest team that the Blue Hens have ever had in 2007, went to the NCAA Final Four. One of his teammates was Curtis Dixon, who was on the other side of the field today with this Roughnecks team. But Hall, the veteran, puts the Wings on the board, and we have another penalty coming up here on the Roughnecks. Might be a hitting from behind penalty on Tyler Burton.
Hall continues his hot hand. He's coming off a game just last weekend, 4 goals, 1 assist, so it's nice to see him continue in his scoring ways.
Wings have gotten a couple shots off here in the delayed penalty and managed to keep possession. They'll continue to work it. It's put back out in front, and we get the whistle now as Reardon tried to get a shot away, but was bumped to the turf. And the penalty now will be put into effect, and the Wings are headed right back on the power play with a chance to close this deficit a little more.
Calgary 94, minor penalty, check from behind. Thank you.
Check from behind with possession. Baptiste with the ball. Check from behind with possession.
So Tyson Bell in the box for 2 minutes, and the Wings back on the power play. See if they can't cut into this lead a little bit more as we get another shot, and that's in. Another post, and this time it does get across the line. Kyle Matisse makes it 5-2.
Great goal by Matisse. This is a must for Philadelphia. When you're on the power play 6-on-5, you have to take advantage of that. 5-on-4 on the offensive end. You have to take advantage of it. Matisse does just that. Look at him hit the 90-degree crossbar and then bounces in. Great goal by the captain, Matisse.
That's 2 of the 3 balls the Wings have put in the net that have not stayed there in this second quarter. But the Wings with a pair of goals in 1:07. Hopefully starting to turn their tide their way. They're now down by just 3, 5-2. As we approach 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter. It's good to see the power play kicking in there, Scott.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Matisse with his 20th goal in the season. He's going for a career high in points so far this year. Just been a tremendous leader for the Philadelphia Wings, both on offense and defense.
Here's another bid stopped by Del Bianco. The rebound put in by Matisse. Del Bianco could not handle the shot cleanly, and Matisse swoops in from the left side and puts it home. There's some of that veteran leadership we thought the Wings might need to come back here. It's 5-3.
You can't talk enough about this guy, Kyle Matisse. He is all over the place. Opportunistic goal, saved by Del Bianco, but Matisse is right there for the pickup, the reach, the goal. Great job by the captain. Nice save. Del Bianco's out of the cage, however, but Matisse is right there. 1 with the loose ball and 2 with the goal. Philadelphia Wings are within 2 goals. We're now 5-3, folks.
3 goals now in 1:36. Matisse approaching that career high. He only needed 6 points to get to 70 today, which would do it. See what they can't do here as the Wings charge in on net. But a save made by Del Bianco. And Calgary will go the other way. Wild lost the handle. He'll get it back before reinforcements arrive. And now Calgary will get set up for what might be the first time this quarter. Wings have been on the power play quite a bit here in the second quarter. And have been able to take advantage. Here is Dutch looking for options. They swing it around. Back to Dutch. Gets the overhead shot away. Save made. That was wide of the net, actually. Bucket did not get a piece of that. Wings get the ball going the other way. It is Bennett with it. Bennett feeds it back out to Chet Konecki, back in the lineup after missing a few games with an injury. Now Jordan Hall. Hall looking for a lane. Hall going to take it to the net himself. Gets off the ground, gets the shot away. Save made by Del Bianco. And we get the whistle. And what do we have here? Do we have a penalty on this for goaltender interference, perhaps?
Yeah, I think they're going to give it to Jordan Hall. Hall dove into the net, however, hit the goalie on the way in. You're going to have a goalie interference on Jordan Hall. Let's take another look at it.
Hall doesn't like it. The crowd doesn't like it. That's oftentimes the way these things go. However, Hall is not going toward the penalty box. We'll have to get the announcement here. We'll take another look at this one. Is Hall...
Calgary penalty, 2 minutes, check from behind.
The penalty is on
Gotcha.
Salama for the hit. So Calgary back to the box for the third time in this second quarter. The Wings have taken advantage. 3 goals in just over a minute and a half. Kyle Matisse put the team on his back with the second and the third tallies. And the Wings are within 2. It's 5-3 on the power play when we come back. Five-3 Wings here in the second quarter at the Wells Fargo Center. Show your support and wear your Wings. Apparel and items are easier than ever to purchase. Check out wingslax.com and take your pick from a variety of tees, hoodies, jerseys, and hats, including an exclusive line from the Wings apparel partner, Under Armour. Visit shopwingslax.com. So a couple of power play goals have fueled a resurgence here for the Wings in the second quarter. They pulled within 2, and they got another opportunity coming up here.
Yep, Salama with the push on Hall. Hall had an unimpeded lane to the goal, tried to do his dive. However, Salama with the push with possession. Wings back on the power play. They're 2 for 4 so far tonight.
Hall quarterbacking this as he works it back and forth to everybody at the top of the point. Wings are just cycling there. Here's Crowley, winds and fires. Save made by Del Bianco, and he'll pop on that loose ball. It is still loose, though. Now he's got it. And he'll finally outlet up the left wing. Del Bianco has just been solid so far, these Roughnecks, as we get a shorthanded tally at the other end.
Late substitution on defense for Philadelphia. Did not match up with men. Harnett comes in and makes him pay. With that mental error, nobody picks up. Harnett comes right in, sets up high, finishes low.
So a 6-3 score now as the Wings' run is ended by that shorthanded goal.
Harnett, that's his first goal of the season. The defensive player picks up a ground ball, pushes it in transition, and ends up getting his first goal of the season.
6 goals on 10 shots for Calgary so far through this one. Wings are still on the power play, but they lose the face-off, so the Roughnecks will be able to kill a little more time here as Dixon surveys the situation from left of the net. Dixon rolls off Charbonneau, though, and now gets a sneaky shot away down low. That was stopped by Abrams, but the Roughnecks able to get that back, and they will happily head back out towards center to kill some more time here. 48 seconds and ticking on this power play for the Wings.
4-corner offense, just killing some time right now, spreading everything out, just letting that penalty clock wind down. But they're also going to go to the net right now as they see if they can get another shorthanded goal.
Penalty, or rather shot clock winding down to 4. Now here's the shot from Dixon on the left side, and that caught the post. Abrams got some help there from his goal post. We might have been looking at another shorthanded marker there. As Charbonneau will leave it off, and the Wings will get set up with 15 seconds left on the power play. Jordan Hall.
Reardon down low left, Hall top left. Matisse at the point, Crowley, and then you've got Courier back just below goal line extended.
Penalty time has expired. Roughnecks are back to full strength. And now we get a violation, and it'll be Calgary ball. So the Wings got some momentum from 2 of the power plays, unable to capitalize on that one. They are within 3 now, though. It's 6-3. 7.5 left to go here in this second quarter. Brian Smith, Scott Gabrielson, Aaron Dolan here with you at the Wells Fargo Center. Final home game for the Wings this season. Still 3 to go. They'll be on the road for the final 3 weeks of the year. Dixon tries to sneak one around a man, but Abrams able to stop that. Amazing how Dixon can just put that much speed on that ball with so little effort.
Great save right there. Building some confidence right there. Got him right in the chest. Abrams with the save.
Here comes Courier around the corner. Got a shot away that was stopped by Del Bianco, and the rebound's going to go all the way down and be picked up by Philadelphia. They're running out of the shot clock time, though, so they'll just heave it back to midfield as that buzzer goes off. And Calgary will reset at midfield.
Nice hustle by Crowley. One thing to point out, we talked about in the open, Aaron mentioned it, is this East versus West or West versus East. You look at the style of play that Calgary has, very routine, spreads it out, kind of a slow type offensive look, where Philadelphia is kind of a run and gun, fast, trying to push the ball, push the pace of play, work the transition, get shots off early. Really different styles here.
You had to look at Isaiah Davis-Allen there, who Paul Day mentioned after the first quarter, playing his first game of the season this year. He's been on the practice squad all year, pushed into service due to some injuries today. Here's Jordan Hall, gets around the corner and gets the shot away, but it's stopped by Del Bianco. And quickly, here comes Calgary the other way. They've got numbers if they hurry. Here's the trailer, Dutch got the shot off, save made by Abrams, as he seems to be getting back into the rhythm of things now after relieving Buchan halfway through that first quarter.
Great save by Abrams. A 2-on-1 opportunity for Calgary, and Abrams was there. Nice play to draw the defender and then whip it back for that shot, but Abrams made the save.
Here's Blaze Reardon. Over for Crowley. Gets around a man, gets the shot away. Save made. Second shot attempt put in and stopped, and we get a whistle. Thought we had a whistle. Never mind. We're going to keep going. There was a Calgary player down. Took Curtis Manning a little bit to get up, and he is now headed off. Will recover on the bench. But Crowley with a good bid here.
Little bee sting pick right there by Matisse and Crowley. But save made. No goal on this end, in the crease.
Shane Simpson came around the corner but did not clear the crease, and that will draw the whistle. And we get a timeout on the floor as Simpson steered into the no man's land here. You see he gets the step on the white. 6-3 Calgary in the second. Six to 3 our score. Calgary leading the Philadelphia Wings here in the second quarter. Aaron Dolan is downstairs with Calgary head coach Curt Malawsky.
Coach, you had a 5-goal lead after the first quarter. What changed?
We just got to stay to our principles. They got 2 power play goals and a garbage rebound. So, in the past we get in our own way sometimes and we get all worked up. So we're trying to stay calm and really go calm on that even keel and just kind of let the situations happen. We can't help what the referee's going to call, but we got to adjust to whatever situation's given to us.
Best of luck to you. Back to you, Brian.
Curt Malawsky and Paul Day very familiar with one another as players, player than coach, now coaching against each other.
Yep, and Malawsky again, here's a player, great story, tremendous player, won a Champions Cup in Calgary in 2009, so he's worn the jersey, he's paid his dues, and now he has the great distinction of being the head coach of the Calgary Roughnecks.
This Calgary team is, again, we've talked about the offensive firepower that is available to this club, and you've got lots of guys that are starting to challenge some really old records. The Roughnecks have several of their franchise's leaders in offense on the floor, and they're doing even better this year. Dane Dobbie is now has a new career high with the first quarter that he had, and some of these guys are like Reese Dutch is headed up the screen as well. As you see the saves in that one, the Wings, the Calgary goaltender has been busy today, but he has been effective.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story right there. When you have your goaltender with 23 saves in a game so far in one half, Del Bianco is playing quite impressive.
Here is Matisse with another bid there, and this time stopped by Del Bianco, and here come
another great save.
The Roughnecks the other way. Del Bianco has just been stellar so far here for Calgary.
You see Matisse go up high. Del Bianco body stays high, but his stick stays low. Great discipline. Makes that save on Matisse.
Dutch hits the crossbar. That one almost knocked the net off the magnets. That had some force on it. They'll go all the way into the Calgary end where they'll pick it up and reset.
You talk about records. Dobbie just scored his 400th goal of his career just last week. This guy's a prolific goal scorer. dangerous, number 44 for Calgary.
Dixon, another dangerous player, but Abrams up to the task there as he makes the save. And the Wings will look to get set up here with 3.5 left to go in this second quarter. Trying to cut into this deficit. It was 5, now it's just 3. 6-3 is our score after Calgary opened up a 5-0 advantage in the first quarter. Dixon, or rather Del Bianco's able to gobble up another one there, and long outlet pass picked up by Kalinic for Calgary, and he'll leave as the Roughnecks get set up. This is Simpson with it. Works it to Lowen at the top, and now back to Simpson. He couldn't handle that pass. Ball is loose and now pulled free by Philadelphia. Here's Bennett down the right side. Bennett feeds a man off the bench. It's Crowley. He hits the iron. Lots of goalposts today in this one so far, as Adam Osika is trying to pull it free, but Zach Currier, one of the top loose ball guys in the league this year, is going to get to that one. Currier thought about a shot, but now he'll back off, and Calgary will get reset.
Great opportunity for Philadelphia. Bennett did the right thing, pulled the ball out, got it to a streaking Crowley coming out of the front door. Crowley just pings it off the iron. Great opportunity there for Philadelphia, can't cash in.
Abrams with a save, and Dixon gets to the loose ball. Looked for a lane, now he'll roll off. Fed into the top of the zone, and a shot by Taylor is stopped by Abrams. Rebound picked up by Taylor. He tried to go around the back, but he stepped in the crease, and the Wings will come out with it.
Great effort by Taylor. Picks up his own rebound and almost dunks it from behind.
Jordan Hall trying to make something happen. He put the Wings on his back a couple of times last week when they were down and out. Scored 2 consecutive goals on 2 occasions, a 4-goal game for him. Now here's Rambo with a quick shot, and that one whistled wide of the net. Comes out to midfield, and we're going to get a Calgary possession, I believe, on an over and back.
Rambo is a guy that Philadelphia needs the goals from. He had 3 goals and 3 assists just last week.
That crease is a lot bigger maybe than it looks on TV when you're on the field. There's another one off the post. Abrams doesn't know where it is. It was behind him. But fortunately, the Wings able to swoop in and pick it up. Yeah, it's hard to get around that crease without stepping in it. Somehow a lot of these guys do it. And Abrams, this time, wasn't quite sure where this rebound went.
Right off the pipe. Doby, it must be the daytime air versus the nighttime air.
Less than a minute to go here in this first half, and the Roughnecks with numbers the other way, and they score. It's Tyler Burton. As again, the Wings get caught in transition in a 2-on-1 the other way. Burton looked off the defender and took the shot himself, and it is 7-3 Calgary.
Tyler Burton, a defenseman with a really smart play, waiting for an offensive player to come in, but nobody's coming to his relief, so he just takes that shot, low and away shot. Excitement for the defender. That's his 2nd goal of the season for the defenseman. So you got 2 guys right now that are not scorers that have added goals for Calgary. That makes a big difference when you've got other guys putting the ball in the net for them. Greg Harnett has his 1st of the season, and Tyler Burton just gets his 2nd.
Burton is the face-off specialist for Calgary. He gets to deal with Trevor Baptiste all day, and he loses that one there, but the goal's got to make it a little bit easier to deal with a situation like that. Jordan Hall was in front and would have had a good opportunity, but he couldn't quite field the pass. And now a good job by Blaze Reardon, I believe, to get a stick on that cross-field pass. Results in this loose ball that is still loose, thanks to some impact to the referee, and now we've got a whistle. And I believe a timeout. What did we get there, Scott?
I think it's going to be a timeout by Calgary. Player got tied up on the boards. Coach called a timeout.
So the Roughnecks will have an opportunity here to draw something up with 20.3 on the clock here in this second quarter. You take a look at the Eastern Division standings, and Scott, we were talking about it earlier. Far and away, 3 top teams in the East versus a very bunched up bunch in the West.
You look at that right there. I mean, the Bandits, Georgia, 2 really good teams, incredible veteran leadership. But then we go to the West, and it's a logjam. So it's anybody's game. And we talk about the tale of two franchises. Philadelphia's in expansion. Well, you know what? That San Diego Seals group is 9-5. That's an expansion team, and compliments to Steve Govett and his group for what they've done to lead the Western Division with a lot of new guys, young players, veteran players. Govett really assembled a heck of a team, and they're leading their division.
And in all honesty, and it's not really drinking the Kool-Aid, the Wings are not that far off of a record like that. 8 losses this year by 2 goals or fewer. Led or tied in the 4th in 6 of those 8 games. I mean, they've been right there all season, as opposed to a Calgary team 7-8, but they've lost 6 games, I believe, by about 5 or 6 goals.
Yep, and I think that's one thing that, Coach Day says, I say, okay? This team will get better over time. They need to learn how to win, okay? They've had leads going into the 4th quarter that they've just given away, whether it's early shots on the shot clock or just not taking care of the ball at critical times, but they're only going to get better over time. And next time they take the field at the Wells Fargo Center, they're going to be a better team and a more seasoned team.
So we're about ready to get going here in the final 20 seconds. The clock started on a indication from the official. I'm not sure what exactly took place there, but the Roughnecks were not ready to go, and everybody else was. So they're going to put it back on to 20.3 and try things again there.
So the Calgary Roughnecks, they're going to pull their goaltender. Looks like Del Bianco's going to hit the bench as soon as the whistle blows to give Calgary 6 offensive players against the 5 defenders for Philadelphia.
He's got to run a long way in the second quarter and all that stuff. That's a haul. But we'll see how much time the Roughnecks are able to get here with the extra attacker. It's not that hard to throw that ball the length of the field.
He's an athlete, though. I give this guy credit. This guy's talented. He heads for the bench and then fakes it. They're just going to let the clock run down and play 5-on-5.
All right, so here we go. The Roughnecks playing for the last play of the game, of the half here, as Dixon will bring it in. Tries to step around a man, shimmies his way in, gets the shot off, and it is no goal. He's crease violation or shot clock, I'm not sure which. Regardless, it will not count, and we are at the half.
Just like Coach drew it up, what an incredible play. Dixon coming in, goes right to left underneath, and I guess the ref is saying that he stepped in the crease before he launched across the goal.
I wasn't sure. I thought I saw 2 different indications, but regardless, it doesn't count. So the Wings are able to close that gap a little bit. They were down 5. They're down 4 now here after the second quarter. They get on the board a little bit, give themselves some confidence. They do the goaltending change. Owen Abrams comes in for the first time, and Kyle Matisse helped engineer the start of that comeback. He's downstairs with Aaron Dolan.
Kyle, you had 2 goals in the second quarter. How did that help change the team's momentum?
Yeah, we didn't get off to the start we wanted to. I think, honestly, as a group, we were a little bit emotional maybe before the start of the game. So we kind of calmed it down more than anything, calmed the team down. And we're in this game. We're down by 4, but lacrosse the game by runs.
And as captain, what do you need to see from your guys in the second half?
We just got to dictate. I mean, on offense, we got to turn the corner a little bit. We're setting picks for guys, but we're just not getting topside. We got to focus on getting topside and being simple. And on D, it looks like we're just not communicating. So you got to be loud on the floor and work together as a unit.
Best of luck. Back to you, Brian.
Thank you very much, Aaron. It is halftime with the score 7-3. Calgary leading the Philadelphia Wings. Coming up after these messages, the Wings continue to give back in the local community with a mental health initiative, plus highlights and stats. You're watching the Wings here on PHL 17. It's halftime of today's game between the Philadelphia Wings and the Calgary Roughnecks. We'll have stats and highlights for you in just a moment. But first, earlier this week, the Wings continued an important initiative to promote mental health among area youth. We'll have more on that here, and we'll be back to the Wells Fargo Center in just a moment.
The Philadelphia Wings and Inspira Health have partnered together for a school program that teaches kids how to be both mentally and physically healthy. Some of the members of the Wings are here today to talk about all the different outlets and things that you can do if you are feeling down and you need help.
My name is Frank Brown, I'm the defenseman for the Philadelphia Wings.
As a professional athlete, physical health is very important to me. But on a more personal level, I battle with anxiety and depression, and I have for a while. And some of the lessons that I've learned through that battle and some of the mechanisms and habits that I've built to cope with the disorder. Very important to me, very important to my success as a person and as an athlete. And I feel like I didn't have these conversations when I was in middle school. To be able to, encourage these young kids to have that conversation, have the courage to have that conversation. I think it's really important.
7-3 our score. The Calgary Roughnecks lead the Philadelphia Wings at halftime here at the Wells Fargo Center. Final home game for the Wings this season. The chase for the championship has begun, and only one team can be crowned champion. Be sure to catch all the action live as the playoffs heat up. Round 1 of the NLL playoffs begins May 3rd on BR Live. And Scott, we talked about the Wings having a sliver of hope for a playoff berth. A lot of things would have to go their way, including winning their final 4 games. And they have a bit of an uphill climb here in the second half, but they did show some life in the second quarter.
They did, yes they do. And again, they have got to finish strong. This is a big second half for them. But I think that the really story here is Christian Delbianco in the cage. I mean, he's just been solid. Again, they're giving him credit and comparing him to Dallas Elliott. And, he's playing like Dallas Elliott. He's had a great half. He's had 26 saves in this first half, which is incredible right now so far and really stymieing the Philadelphia offense.
We'll take a look at some of the balls that did get by, and unfortunately for the Wings, it was all Calgary in the first quarter as they jumped out to a 5-0 lead.
Reese Dutch starts it off for Calgary with a great shot on the power play over his head, and then Doby with a floater over Buchan shoulder. Philadelphia made a goalie change to it, and then Philadelphia got 3 in a row, starting off with Hall, and then Matisse gets 2 back-to-back, one pick in a corner on the right-hand side, and then an opportunistic goal. Matisse has 2 goals, 1 assist, and Doby's leading Calgary with 2 goals and 2 assists, and a lot of other guys scoring right now for Calgary, which makes a big difference in this 7-3 halftime lead.
We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the statistics from that first half here at the Wells Fargo Center. 7-3 Calgary here on PHL 7. Seven to 3 our score. The Calgary Roughnecks lead the Philadelphia Wings here at the Wells Fargo Center. It's Kids Day. It's the final home game of the season for the Wings. They'll play 3 on the road after this, heading out west for a couple of games back-to-back, and then they'll end the season in Georgia against the Swarm. We've got some of the numbers here for you from that first half, and you wouldn't know it by the score, Scott, but the Wings did get a lot of balls to the net in that first half.
Yes, they have. I mean, you look at the shots, the Wings are outperforming Calgary with shots, but look at that saves stats, 26 saves for Delbianco right there, pretty impressive, and that's really making the difference. Calgary's had the errors, right? Look at the 10 penalty minutes. The Wings are 3 for 5, probably one of their best performances so far on the season on the power play, which is great to see. They're taking advantage of those opportunities, but 3 of those goals are all in the power play. So they are making Calgary pay for their mistakes, but they need to get some offensive production out of their 5-on-5 offense.
Stats are brought to you by HalfPriceHotTubs.com. Good day for a hot tub in the weather that we're starting to get here, and that means playoff time is coming up. And obviously the Wings are again trying to still stay alive, but over the years this team has been playing at this time of the year quite a bit, and we talked a little bit about it in the second quarter. I think I dropped it on you a little bit. 30 years ago tomorrow is the anniversary of the Wings' first championship in 1989 against New York. I forget which team that was, the New York something. Saints, yes.
Yeah.
And it was just across the parking lot at the Wells Fargo Center. 6 of those NLL championships over the years. Scott, you were there for, I believe, 5 of them, and I'm sure a lot of great memories there for you.
No doubt about it. That 1989 championship game at the Spectrum, the historic Spectrum in front of 17,000 fans. I mean, it's been one thing that really started, that game started the pride and tradition of Philadelphia and really the fan commitment to this team. This team is built on winning, on a winning tradition, and to have won 6 times me having the privilege of playing for 5 championship teams is really special. My rookie year in '89, we won the championship, and then my very last game in my 10th year as a player, I walked off the floor with the championship cup over my head and called it a career. But that's what the Wings do. I like what they have in front of them right now. There's a championship and winning pedigree in this town with this team, with Paul Day as the general manager and coach. I think that this team is on its way to get back on track in their winning ways.
The team's in good hands. There's a lot of young talent here, and there's a lot to come here for these Philadelphia Wings here over the coming years. It's a busy night around the National Lacrosse League. This is the kickoff for a good bit of action going on later on, and we get a look at some of these big matchups over the course of this schedule we've got ahead of us.
Yep, and again, you got San Diego, New England. If you're a Philadelphia Wings fan, you're rooting for San Diego. You need New England to lose their last 4 games for there to be a chance. Wings have to win their last 4. New England has to lose their last 4, and it starts with San Diego. San Diego, again, expansion franchise, but really a loaded team. Can probably win that game, and we'll see what happens there. But again, it starts for the Philadelphia Wings run. They've got to turn it around in the second half to get the W and hope that New England is defeated by San Diego.
You see the Toronto Rock there at 10-5, and of course clinching a playoff spot and near the top of the Eastern Division. But we talked about it a little while ago. 3 of those losses were by 1 goal at the hands of the Wings. Aaron Dolan is downstairs with Matt Rambo.
Matt, what was the message in the locker room?
We just got to play with more energy and keep playing fast. It's our last home game, so give the crowd what they want to see, and we just got to play with a lot more energy.
And being the last home game, what do you see moving forward?
We're just focused on the first 5 minutes right now. We're not looking too forward, so we just got to come out with a lot of energy right now.
And for the viewers and fans, what was your favorite part about wearing a Wings jersey this season?
Oh, man, I would say the fans, especially for me, playing in my hometown. The fans are the best in the league, so got to give it to them.
Best of luck to you. Back to you, Brian.
Matt Rambo, a guy that has really come on as of late. 24 points in his last 6 games. NLL Rookie of the Week last week. For the second time this season, he has been a bit of a late-round steal in the expansion draft in the 5th round.
The best thing about playing in Philadelphia is winning at home, and I think that I'm sure that he wants to say that Philadelphia Wings got their wins at home, and hopefully in the future they will continue, and they can finish off this game with their last win at home.
Well, the quest to erase this deficit has begun as the Wings control the opening face-off here in this second half, and Kevin Crowley with a bid that was knocked down in front. Calgary able to pick that up, and they'll come back the other way with it. It's Dan McRae, the captain of this team, staying on here on the offensive side of the ball as Dixon rolls off a couple of hits. He gets away from a couple of guys, lost the ball as he tried to weave back out in front though. And so the Wings will have an opportunity to step out here. As we are just underway in the 3rd quarter, Wings trail 7-3. They had trailed 5-0 after 1 quarter, scored 3 in a row to close that gap a little bit. And then Calgary got a couple late in the second quarter rather.
Nice physical play by Adam Asika to clear that crease, to turn the ball over and get it back to the offense.
And there's Courier hitting another goal post. If they were even half a point, this game would be tied at this point for the Wings. Courier tried to cut back in. He'll roll off and check. Plants it back out to Rambo, who goes to the right side. He's trying to work this out in front. Pushed back to the end wall. Now a behind the back shot by Matisse was stopped by Del Bianco.
That would have been a Sports Center top 10 right there. What a play behind the back by Hall to Matisse, who just pushed it by the front of the net.
Here's Dane Doby. Works it far side. Back to Doby now from Dixon. Lost the handle on it. Doby dives to try to pull it back inside. Here's another look at that shot.
Little backhand flip and then a behind the back shot. Just misses that low corner on Del Bianco.
Earlier this season, the Wings held a clinic for media where they had some of the players work on some of the basics of the game with them, and Crawley was trying to teach us how to do that.
How'd it work out for you?
I kept hitting myself in the back of the head with the stick. That's the only thing I was able to accomplish. Here's a break the other way for the Roughnecks and a goal. Another break out of their own end for Calgary. That's the third one in this game. Anthony Kalinic has made it 8-3.
Another guy breaking the seal right there for his scoring for Calgary. Kalinic with his first goal of the season on a breakaway. Just picks up the loose ball, pushes it down in transition. Nobody picks him up, buries it low, 5-hole. Beats Abrams for his first goal as a Calgary Roughneck on the season.
So whereas in some cases this year it's been taking too many penalties, although the penalty kill has been good for the Wings, if there is none doing to this point, it has been these transition goals. That's the difference between a 5-goal hole and a 2-goal hole right now for Philadelphia. It's 8-3. Now here's a bid in front by Hall, and that one went wide. Wings will regain possession as Matisse picks it up on the right side. Hall cutting back out in front and does not get the shot away. And there is some entanglement after that, and now there's going to be some pleasantries exchanged next to the Calgary net as Jordan Hall does not like whatever happened to him down there. Rather, excuse me, that's Blaze Reardon in there, isn't it?
Yep, Reardon giving him some of the business, comes across. Defender protecting his goaltender. Giving Reardon some of the business. Reardon comes back, mucking it up in front of the net. Let's take a look at it. Reardon likes to go right to left, comes across, does step in the crease, lands in, and then there's the defender. Salama comes after that. Reardon picks up his knee with the takedown.
Yeah, it was Reardon the whole time. It's hard for us to tell coming off that far side sometimes, and it was Reardon with a great effort there, but then a bit of a suplex, if you will.
And a face rake down in the pile.
Getting his money's worth in there. As Del Bianco has a front row seat for all of that, but
Philadelphia number 10, double minor for roughing, 4 minutes.
Well,
Calgary 94, minor penalty roughing. We're 5 on 4.
So Reardon gets the extra there. They do take both, but the extra minor goes to Reardon. So we'll have another look at this Calgary power play that scored 2 goals in a combined 17 seconds earlier on in this game.
4 penalties for Calgary, 2 goals. I'm sorry, they're 2 for 2.
So they get underway here on power play number 3, and a save made by Abrams there off the bid from close range. And here's Liam Patton going after a loose ball. He will get to it in the Calgary end. So the Wings will have a chance to eat some clock here. Jordan Hall will take it off the bench.
It's going to be Rambo, Hall, Crowley, Courier.
9 shorthanded goals allowed this year by this Calgary team. We just want to make it 10. Crowley with a long-range bid, though, as the shot clock was winding down. And so Calgary will regain possession. Minute 11 left to go on the power play.
This defense has really worked hard tonight for the Philadelphia Wings. Steph Charbonneau, Liam Patton, Dylan Evans. Great effort.
Curtis Dixon fired another shot off a goalpost. And in the ensuing battle all the way back at the Calgary restraining line, the Roughnecks get the ball back. That's how far that rebound went. Reese Dutch on the far side working with Dixon. Dixon dishes it off for Doby, and that shot was stopped by Abrams. He'll come out and get that loose ball. Kellen Abrams in his first action as a Wings goaltender today. Came in relief of Doug Buchan after a tough start to the game for Philadelphia.
Buchan had 5 saves out of 9 shots. Coach Day wanted to make the change. So far, Abrams doing well, filling the goal. Great effort by Bennett to box out the offensive player for Calgary to let Abrams get the ball.
Matisse gets one away that missed wide. Penalty time has expired. Teams are back to full strength as Osika comes out of the box. He was in as the designated player for the extra 2 minutes on Reardon. Reardon will remain in the box for a little bit as Taylor now will hold it on the near side. Thought about a shot. Ends up dishing it off instead. They continue to work at this Calgary, and an attempt to cross the crease and a goal. It sneaks in. A great effort there by Dixon as he lays out and is able to more or less roll the ball over the line. It's 9-3 Calgary.
Curtis Dixon, another one of his highlight goals here. Look at him setting up the right hand. Nice little swim move, kind of reaches around and just steps around Patton. Sewell steps around Patton, dives to the right, puts it on that right-hand far pipe. Beautiful goal by Curtis Dixon. Again, sets him up, drop step, reaches across the crease, puts it along that far pipe.
So it appears after a little bit of a break, Doug Buchan is going to go back into the net as Goa Abrams comes out. I'm going to give this name a shot. Hunya Den Goa is his full first name, but he goes by Goa as the nickname and to appease the statisticians. But Doug Buchan is back in. He was in to start this game and then yielded for Abrams, and now Abrams heads to the bench and Buchan will come back in. A shot stopped by Del Bianco at the other end, and here comes Calgary with Zach Currier, brother of Josh, working high in the zone. Dishes it off. Simpson trying to get around a man, couldn't do it. He did get a shot away, but there wasn't a whole lot on it. And now the Wings will try to get out, but under duress.
Frank Brown with the clear. Yeah.
Good job to get up and get that out of there.
Good save by Doug Buchan. First shot as he steps back in the net.
And now Josh Currier fires one home. He was given all the time in the world and says, you're going to give me that much room, I'm going to fire this one. And he beats Christian Del Bianco. First goal in a while for the Wings. It's 9-4.
And delivered by Josh Currier. Boy, is he dialed in on this one. Sees it, gets his feet set, a little shuffle of his feet, sees the net. Look at all that net there. Del Bianco tries to bait him and then take it away, but Currier, too accurate, too sharp. Great goal by Josh Currier.
All that time courtesy of a great pick by Kevin Crowley, who just took Tyson Bell right out of action. Had no chance to get to Currier, and here come the Wings the other way off the faceoff. It's Baptiste trying to cut out in front, looking for an opportunity, and now the Wings will relax there. They had a brief 2-on-1.
Smart play by Baptiste to pull it out, get your offensive specialists on the floor, see if they can get another goal.
And Kyle Matisse went to the goal, but I believe he stepped in the crease, so we get a whistle and a timeout on the floor with 8:24 left to go in this third quarter. 9-4. Wings Lacrosse on PHL 17 and BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. 9-4 Roughnecks lead the Wings. Head back to Philadelphia, 1980-something with Jenkintown's favorite family, the Goldbergs. Weeknights at 7:30 and 9, right here on PHL 17. So again, the Wings dropped a pretty big deficit in the first quarter, Scott, and they've played pretty even with Calgary since that point. What's it going to take for them to close this gap some more?
Well, you're seeing the defensive leadership right there. Frank Brown, ready to kind of close the door right there. You see the runs, 5-0, 3-0, then 4-1. Philadelphia has to tighten up their defense. I think Coach Day putting Doug Buchan back in is a good move. Abrams a little cold, hasn't really played much this year. Doug Buchan is the guy that they've been riding all season, and he's the guy that is more consistent for Philadelphia, and he's back between the pipes.
Buchan and Christian Del Bianco spoke about this week by Coach Day as perhaps two of the goaltenders that are going to be in this league for another decade or so. Both young guys, first year for Buchan, second for Del Bianco. Named Dallas Elliott getting tossed around a lot. That's what Paul Day would like to see Buchan turn into here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, seeing Del Bianco for the first time, I do like his game. He's very athletic, moves well, very nice saves with his hands, with his feet, shifts from side to side. Impressive.
Aaron is downstairs at field level with more on some of these runs these teams have been on.
Well, guys, I feel like we were back in the first quarter, heading into the second quarter with 5 goals down. But, of course, this time Courier's goal did count. At the last time out, Dylan Evans was yelling to the players, play with confidence, guys.
That's what the Wings got to do. It's just a matter of buckling down and don't be fazed by some of these offensive threats. Don't be fazed by this gap. Just put your head down and get the job done.
Yep, leave it on the floor. Every shift, every play, every ground ball, you got to leave it on the floor because that's what makes the difference.
Simpson fed one out to Doby, a shot in, stopped by Buchan, but getting the ball from behind the net was Curtis Dixon, and he puts it home.
Wow, Aaron shot from behind. Dixon set up behind the goal. Ball finds him, almost a shot to his stick, and Buchan is just high on the crease. Dixon dives and puts it in the net. Let's take a look at it. Doby sets up, shots wide. Dixon catches it and then just dives and shoots it in backhand. I gotta think that almost Doby, it might have even been a pass by Doby to Dixon behind the net. Nobody on Dixon, sets himself up, dives, backhanded goal from the right-hand side. Heck of a goal, an assist between Doby and Dixon.
Well, we've been discussing all day how it hasn't been as much scoring in the West as there has been in the East, at least in terms of the goals scored by teams, but the goals they do score are pretty remarkable.
Yep.
Here is Kyle Matisse working out to Crawley as the Wings try to start chipping away at this deficit. It's Courier with a shot and he scores! Josh Courier, using the defenseman as a screen, fires one low. He's got another one. And the Wings are back within 5. It's 10-5.
Let the runs continue, right? Courier, Josh Courier again, just a little shake and bake, left to right, comes up, sets his feet, beats the defender. Nice pick by Matisse. That slide couldn't get there. Courier, just as we said before, dialed in. The accuracy with his shot is there as he peppers the net. Back-to-back goals by Courier. Great to see for Philadelphia. They bring it within 5.
Bit of a move there, and then he stepped back off the defenseman Dan McRae, the captain of this team. Created himself some room and picks up his second.
And Baptiste does his job winning the face-off, but cannot corral that loose ball. Goes back to Calgary.
Another break for Calgary. A shot and a save made by Buchan. He will hold on to that one. Another 2-on-1 developed there for the Roughnecks as that face-off took about 8 or 9 seconds to finally determine, and then next thing you know, Calgary's the other way. Now here's Courier looking for a third, but he loses his balance a little bit, gets back up though. Now he comes around and scores! Oh my goodness, Courier takes to the air, and what a way to finish off a hat trick. Tucks it behind the shoulder of Del Bianco. Wings are within 4, it's 10-6.
He's feeling it. It starts with a hustle play with the ground ball, swim move behind the net, leaping goal from behind. Look at this, almost takes the ball behind his back, then a leap from behind, dive, reaches that far corner. What a goal by Josh Courier, the wing with the hot hand.
Del Bianco had no idea what was going on back there, and all of a sudden he seemed to sense that Courier was airborne and just kind of tried to hunch up his shoulders. Now Baptiste, another win and coming right in. He will roll off though, and after Bell loses his stick, he tried to forearm shiver Baptiste a little bit there, but didn't have any luck. Wings have been scoring a lot this year, over 11 goals a game. So far only 6 here, and you got to credit a lot of that to Christian Del Bianco and his goal posts.
Yep, got to give him credit for that, but Wings are on a run, and it's no surprise that Josh Courier continues to stay on the floor. He's the hot hand. Coach Paul Day is not going to give him a rest. Josh, we need you. Keep going, pal.
He bid for another one there, but Del Bianco came up with a save as Courier went for a 4th.
Trying to do it again with the shot. Batiste almost with an opportunistic goal in front, but what a great save by Del Bianco.
Coming up on 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and important for the Wings to keep momentum here as Buchan makes a save on a bid by Riley Lowen. Lowen fighting for that ball, but the Wings are going to come away with it.
Liam Patton with a huge ground ball right at the boards. Nice defense by Philadelphia.
Isaiah Davis-Allen in his first action as a Wing. Leaves it off, and Philadelphia will get set up. It's Matt Rambo. Feeds it off. Crowley scores! Kevin Crowley gets on the board. He's something the Wings need to close this deficit. And it's down to 3. It's 10-7.
That's why there's nothing like the National Lacrosse League. Just great excitement. You're never out of a game. Keep playing every whistle, every play. Rambo finds Crowley far side. Crowley just pastes the corner from outside. Look at Crowley. 21, 1-21. Just gets out the outreach left hand of Del Bianco. But the big cat, Kevin Crowley, delivers for Philadelphia.
Huge one there for Crowley. And the Wings have scored 4 goals in the last 4 minutes. It was 10.
And we talk about the make it, take it, but there's Baptiste with another face-off win that gives the Wings the ball back. Now they get their offense back on the floor, and it's a game of runs.
And it just goes to show you how big it can be to have a guy like Trevor Batiste on your roster. Shot by Rambo is up over the glass and out of play, and that's going to lead us to a timeout on the floor. The Wings rolling through some momentum here through the third quarter as Josh Courier goes airborne, and he tucks it home. What a third goal of the game. It's 10-7 Calgary. 10-7 our score. The Calgary Roughnecks lead the Philadelphia Wings, but the Wings trying to mount a comeback here, and a lot of it has to do with the great face-off performance by Trevor Baptiste. Head coach Paul Day was talking to his specialist.
I told TB on that last face-off, he shoots that from his wrong side overhand, he'll be all fucked up. The good thing is you shoot it kind of mid-range. Moose is kind of crashing the net, he might get the rebound.
Trevor Baptiste came into this game within range of an NLL record. He will get there, barring injury, as I knock on some wood. He only needed about 20 face-off wins to get to the rookie record. He's within range of the whole shebang of the entire history of the NLL. He would need to win about 20 face-offs a game here down the stretch, but he can do it.
Yeah, he is. He's on pace to be the best face-off man, in league history. In a season, he's been unbelievable. Tonight, he's been excellent. Just winning the face-offs, giving Philadelphia the ball back after every goal to give them an opportunity. Face-offs lead to ground balls, which leads to possessions, which leads to goals. And Philadelphia is on a run right now. Have this game within 3, 10-7, with 4 to go in the third.
It was 9-3 Calgary, then the Wings scored 4 goals in 4 minutes. It is 10-7 now, and the Wings looking for another stop here as we head into the latter minutes of the third quarter, under 4 minutes to go in period number 3. And there's a goal for Calgary. Dane Dobbie, just so difficult to deal with in those situations, and the Wings had that covered well, but Dobbie's able to find some daylight. It's 11-7.
They did, and his accuracy is so incredible. He just stings a corner. That's his 10th power play goal on the season. This guy just produces numbers. Not high velocity, but accuracy just off the charts there. Just picks that corner. Great shot by Dane Dobbie.
Dane Dobbie's in his 3rd straight season of 80 or more points, the 5th of his career, and the 3rd consecutive year he's had 30 or more goals. 12th season, he's never had fewer than 50 points in a full season, and we get another Calgary goal there right off the hop, as this one's going to go to Zach Courier. Does a little bit to match his brother's prowess so far with his first. It is 12-7.
It's the Courier show in the second half here. Zach, the ground ball machine, does his job, picks up the loose ball off the carpet, and then just calls his own number. Takes it a little leap, little jump shot, but 5-hole finish. Great job by Zach Courier. Well done, splits Burns and Charbonneau for the goal. But just the speed, picks up that ball right off the turf, comes in on Buchan, jumps high, finishes low.
Face-off violation that Tyler Burton does not agree with. Wings will have the ball. Currier had 200 loose balls as a rookie last year. And that is where he earns his paycheck. As the Wings with an opportunity here, but one whistle just wide.
And it's very likely he will match or beat that record this year with 4 games remaining.
Here is Josh Currier moving in, and he puts it home. Currier answers his brother's goal with his 4th. And it's 12-8 Calgary.
Welcome to the Currier Show, folks. Josh Currier on it. Oh, what a great play. Sets up the defender. Gelly's up top, looking to take a big step to the top of the crease with his right foot. Comes down underneath, little face dodge, reach, finishes, fake spar, finishes near. What a goal by Josh Currier. Give him 4 on the day.
These guys have a conversation at halftime, maybe? Let's put on a show here.
Whatever you do, I can do better.
Trevor Baptiste able to pull that one out of the face-off circle. Unfortunately, the loose ball picked up by Bell, and Baptiste almost got it away from him. But Bell was able to recover. And
that's a first face-off loss we have seen in a while.
Our Erin Dolan is downstairs. She had a chat with Josh Currier earlier on and has a little bit more on the family rivalry.
Well, Currier is definitely showing his younger brother, Zach, who is boss this quarter with 4 goals. This is definitely giving the Wings the momentum they need. Offensive coach Ian Rubel is saying to the offense at the break, reassess and react. Brian?
Well, unfortunately, some of that momentum is sapped there as Curtis Dixon rolls one home. And the lead is back to 5 now for Calgary at 13-8.
Dixon, we talk about how difficult he is to cover one-on-one. Well, there it is. There's an example, folks. Sets up right to left, dips under, comes back to a strong right hand, shoots it on the run, sidearm, mid-range, low to high finish. Great job by Dixon. And a big goal for Calgary.
Roughnecks able to control this one as Zach Currier just does a tremendous job of getting to that loose ball. He is finally relieved of the ball, but he gets a pickup from his captain, Dan McRae, and Calgary will get themselves organized here.
Dixon having a night, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points on the day so far. He's a guy that's delivering for his offense.
Here is Doby maneuvering, drops a pass off, a shot and a goal. Dan Taylor takes the feed, puts it home, and those runs now are going back the wrong way for the Wings as Calgary's got the last several in a row. It's 14-8.
Really nice 2-man game, pick and roll for Doby and Taylor. Late switch, both of the Wings defenders went with the offensive player. Doby flips it back up to Taylor. Taylor sees that lower right-hand corner and stings it.
So Goa Abrams is going to go back in here for Philadelphia. It's just not Doug Buchan's day. He heads down the tunnel, actually, coming off the bench. And it's a tough island to be on as a goaltender down there in any sport.
No question.
Every now and then you're just going to have a day where things aren't going your way. And now I think we're going to see some penalties here as we have a Donnybrook developing on Calgary's side of the field. One of the Roughnecks was relieved of his helmet by a wing stick.
Liam Patton mixing it up, Trevor Baptiste. Salama.
Salam is in the middle of that scrum for a second time.
Saw that Salama earlier put his helmet on, basically his chin strap's not even on. Helmet pops off easily, but Liam Patton came after him, gave him a shot right into the chin to start that.
See your right side of your screen here where this is going to develop. Salama gives Baptiste a shot and then receives one in return from Patton. As the Wings say, we fly together.
You look at that shot, actually. Salama cross-checked Baptiste in the chest.
Yeah.
Baptiste didn't even move.
No.
It's like he was
Have you seen
like
him
a
up close?
statue. Right?
You almost need a truck to move that guy.
He didn't move an inch.
I'll never forget when I met him, and I'm like, oh my goodness, no wonder you win a lot of face-offs. I mean, he's just like a brick wall out there.
And then he retaliated. He gave Salama a shot, and he went down on the ground. Helmet popped off.
Match penalty for high sticking. Calgary number 13, 2 minutes, illegal cross-check.
So there you have the penalties, and it's just those 2 fouls that are penalized. The cross-check on Baptiste from Salama that started everything, and then Patton with the retaliation is going to earn himself a match penalty. So he will head to the locker room.
Match penalty, that's it. That calls it a night for Liam Patton. But again, he's got his teammates back. I got your back, Trevor. They start pushing and shoving and punching, and you come to your teammates' defense, and that's what Liam Patton, number 12, did.
Absolutely. So the Wings will have to regroup a little bit on the defensive side of the ball.
Patton been one of the top defenders for Philadelphia. Now they're going to be leaning on Frank Brown, Dylan Evans, Steph Charbonneau, Matt Bennett.
So I believe what we're going to get here is 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. And then when Salama comes out of the box, we're going to have a 3-minute power play for Calgary. That would be barring further incident. So they're just trying to get this ironed out and figure out exactly how it goes up on the board, and then we will get back to action here. It can be kind of complicated when all that comes at you that quickly. But now we're sorted out and set to go, and Dane Dobbie will try to get things going. He gets horse-collared as he tried to go around the corner. That's going to be a penalty. Del Bianco heads to the bench for the extra attacker, and things are going to get even more complicated here once the Wings gain possession.
Try to wrap check on Dobbie. Evans caught him right under the chin, spun him around. Let's look at it.
Number 44. Philadelphia number 3, minor penalty holding.
Right there as he tried to go over the shoulder and stick check him, he got a little bit too much of his head.
Once again, Calgary goes for number 26, David Taylor.
And of course, Chet Konecki swoops in and tries to finish things off there, but that draws the whistle. Errant pass here for the Roughnecks, but Dobbie's going to go collect things out at center. So 4-on-3 at the moment.
Very difficult to stop this now with 4 guys or 3 defenders. There's a lot of space on the floor.
A behind the back pass over to Lowen, and he got a quick shot off that Abrams was able to block. Wings trying to get out of the zone now. They're out of their half, but Rambo got run down, and now Matisse able to knock a ball free deep in the Calgary end. Good effort by the captain to slow things up a little bit. 35 seconds left in the third quarter, which is going to end before any of these penalties do. It's 4-on-3, the power play right now for Calgary.
Great effort by Matisse. Offense, defense, ground balls, hustle, forechecking. Guy does it all.
Here comes Zach Currier, looking for one more. Gets the shot away, stopped by Bucket, and the Wings will control an outlet. Just gonna kind of let a man run on, do that ball with 5 seconds left in the period. Liam Burns has a chance here. Not sure if he knows how much time's left though. He does not get a shot away. The Wings able to kill off a few more seconds, and after a hot start to the third quarter, with Josh Currier getting a highlight reel goal and now has a few on the game. It's become all Calgary in the second half of the third quarter. Wings will try to regroup and come back when we return to the fourth in a moment. 14-8, Wings trail the Calgary Roughnecks as we head into the fourth quarter here at the Wells Fargo Center. Don't miss the rest of the Wings road games this season. BR Live makes watching live sports easy. Download the app or visit live.bleacherreport.com to watch the Wings' 3 remaining games of the season on the road. They'll have a back-to-back coming up, and then one more in Georgia. Here tonight, though, Calgary has turned it on here in the latter part of the third quarter.
They have, and you know what? They're playing East Coast type ball with a lot of transition goals. But here's that guy, Curtis Dixon. We talk about the two-man, Dixon, Doby, Taylor, putting the ball in the back of the net. Baptiste doing his job here in front of the home crowd. The attendance for today, 9,150. Little below the average, but it is a Saturday afternoon at noon. A lot going on. One of the first beautiful spring days in Philadelphia.
No, this team has been very well supported throughout this season. Over 11,000 average coming into today.
And that's with a 3-11 record.
As Doby bags another one over the shoulder of Going Abrams. It's now 15-8 Roughnecks.
And there he is. There's Doby. We talk about the National Lacrosse League's leading scorer. 4th goal today, 39 on the season. He's over 90 points right now, sitting in number 1. And again, almost an effortless shot. The velocity, no need for it, but the accuracy is so critical. Look at these runs. 5-0, then the Wings make a valiant effort 3-0, then Calgary with 5-1, then Philly 3-0, then Calgary with another run. And a lot of it's been Dane Doby, who's got 4 goals on the night.
Well, a nice 5-0 run would make things very interesting here. The Wings can pull that off in the final 14 and change. Let's see what they got in them here as we roll along through this fourth quarter.
Doby's got the goals, but he's also got 5 assists on the night as well.
First shot stopped by Abrams. Second shot stopped by Abrams, both off the stick of Curtis Dixon. And now here's Reese Dutch. He'll wind and fire, and he scores. Reese Dutch getting everything he had behind that shot, and he found a hole in Going Abrams at 16-8.
Not a guy you often keep quiet either. Reese Dutch, second leading scorer on the Calgary Roughnecks. Number 18 from the point up top. Little fancy stick work, big cradles, high shot, high to low. Buries it to that low right-hand side, right underneath the foot of Abrams as he's trying to make that kick save and also reach it with his left hand. Couldn't get there. Reese Dutch with the nice goal.
So that was a power play tally, as the match penalty for the incident in the third quarter is still in effect. One more power play goal would release that, as the Wings get a break here off of a face-off violation, but a nice save made by Del Bianco. And so the Roughnecks will get a chance to set up. There's a minute 45 of power play time to the penalty on Liam Burns. And here is Dutch looking again. He tried to pass toward the right side that was knocked away, and the Wings going the other way. It's Frank Brown. Brown pulls away from a man, and he scores! Frank Brown put the brakes on. The fenceman kept going. That gave him all the daylight he needed, and he picks up a shorthanded goal. That's the 10th shorty that Calgary has allowed this year. And perhaps a bit of fresh air for the Wings here as it's 16-9.
What a great play. Starts with the ground ball. Put on the brakes and let him fly right by. That's what they did. They flew right by Frank Brown with the swim move. Jams on the brakes. They fly by. Sets up. High shot. Too low. Hits that pipe. Great goal by number 83, Frank Brown.
That's what was in my head, but I haven't seen that movie in so long I couldn't quite remember it.
Good old Top Gun line, right?
Oh, my goodness. Trevor Baptiste wins another face-off and now trying to get away from a couple of Roughnecks, and he does find an outlet in Dylan Evans back in his own end. And the Wings will take possession here, still killing a penalty. 1:11 left to go on the 5-minute match penalty to Liam Burns. Matt Rambo is in possession, and he is looking for a place to go. He'll wind and fire. That one was wide of the net. 6 seconds left on the shot clock, and it bounces into the player bench. We'll get a reset, and Calgary will get possession with 50 seconds left on the power play.
I'll tell you one thing about this Philadelphia Wings team is that they have never quit in any game. They played to the final whistle. That's great character for this squad. They will keep at it. They'll keep pounding you, keep working the ground balls, playing the defense, and trying to score goals to the very end.
Dixon working on the near side with 30 seconds left on the power play. Gets a pass off, and the shot blocked off the stick of Dan Taylor. Tried to whistle it back down to the right side where Dutch was standing by, but the shot clock expires. It looks like the Wings will escape this power play without any further damage done.
What I say about the character of this is a team that started out 0-6. Okay, that's enough to really take the wind out of a lot of team sails. There was no quitting this team. This team continued to play hard. Those were games that they could have won, and they just continue to play. And that's what they're going to do tonight. That's what they're going to do for the rest of the season. And talking to Coach Paul Day, they're just going to play until the last game, until they turn the lights off in the locker room.
Adam Ozika had a bid there as he came out of the box, and that was stopped. Calgary coming the other way. We talked about it earlier on that the Wings did have a sliver of playoff hope, but they would have to win their remaining games, including this one, as a pass in down low for Taylor is turned into a shot and stopped by Abrams.
I'll tell you another thing about Philadelphia, with what we're seeing with the Philadelphia Eagles and the 76ers and the Phillies now. When you're winning, everyone's behind you, so to average 11,000 fans with a 3-11 team is quite impressive. But let me tell you, you flip that around and go 11-3, and you're going to have 17,000 fill in the Wells Fargo Center. And there's nothing like playing in front of 17,000 screaming fans here in pro lacrosse.
Those days are coming, even if the Wings cannot complete this comeback and end up being eliminated. They're going to have stuff to build on here, because we've seen so much of it just turn for this team in the second half of the season. We talked about Matt Rambo, who has just had a tremendous resurgence here over the last 6 games. Kevin Crowley didn't come in until week 4. Missed the time that the team had to kind of gel together, as Taylor gets another one there for Calgary to make it 17-9. But just so much to build off of for Paul Day and his staff headed into the offseason and into next year. A lot of these guys with a year of experience under their belt should come back next year even better.
Yep. Great shot by Taylor. Big, strong pick that knocked down the Wings defender. Therefore, Taylor just had unimpeded look at the goal, sets his feet, time, room, picks a corner. And I'll tell you one thing, we talked about it earlier, the Philadelphia Wings are down 6 defenders since the beginning of the season. They've got new guys that come in. They made 2 mid-season trades in picking up defenders, Ryan Wagner and Matt Bennett. Wagner was lost for the season with an injury. Zach Reed's out.
Jordan Hall from high in the zone. Caught the goaltender napping a little bit there maybe as he looked off a couple of defenders and appeared to be headed toward the far corner, and Del Bianco all of a sudden had a shot in his kitchen.
Wow, number 44, how about it? Give that man the ball. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Jordan Hall's 700th point in his NLL career. Hall with a great goal from outside, just time and room, sees it, buries it. It's 2 on the night, 15th on the season, but 700th point for his career, for the veteran.
What a career it's been for Jordan Hall. It included some time with the original Wings in their later years. When they left Philadelphia, he went on to other cities, but he's back home now.
One of those Delaware guys we keep talking about, an incredible mentor. We talk about the youth of this team. Young players can't get better without mentors, without leaders in the locker room, and Jordan Hall is one of those guys. Kyle Matisse, Kevin Crowley, leaders that teach young players what this game is all about and how to get it done. Congratulations, Jordan Hall, on your 700th point.
Shot by Courier was on net, reset the shot clock. Another bid, that one from Reardon, bounced around in front of the net, but Del Bianco kept it out. And Calgary will regroup at the other end as we are under 10 minutes to go here in this one today at the Wells Fargo Center. Wings trailing 17-10 against a Calgary team that a lot of times this season is either won by a lot of goals or lost by a lot of goals. Unfortunately, the Wings seem to spin the wheel and land on Calgary scoring a lot today. Crowley whistles one wide, rebounds off the end boards, back out to center. It is picked up by the Wings. Matthew Bennett gets to it. Rambo rolled off a check, sent it far side to Courier.
Calgary's had one of those days where they're getting goals from the other guys, where Philadelphia still has a couple of their key offensive players, with no goals. Matt Rambo's got 0 goals and 2 assists right now, so we need to have some of the top scorers start to deliver for Philadelphia in these waning minutes.
We get a timeout on the field. 8.5 left to go in the fourth quarter. 17-10, Calgary leads the Wings. Wings Lacrosse on PHL 17 and BR Live is brought to you by Wild Numbers family of tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. And by halfpricehottubs.com. Final home game for the Wings here this afternoon on a gorgeous Saturday in Philadelphia. Start didn't go the way the Wings wanted to, but they've tried to keep it with Calgary since then. 17-10 right now is the score with 8.5 left to go in this contest. Rise and shine weekdays with PHL 17's Morning News. Get your weather, traffic, headlines, and your daily dose of morning fun with Nick, Demetria, Monica, and Jenna. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. right here on PHL 17. So, Scott, again, we've seen this Calgary team get off to the hot start. Wings have tried several times to come back. What is the key here as we head into the final 8.5 to finish on a high note for this team?
All they got to do is just play to the final whistle, play every shift like it is their last. This is their last home stand in Philadelphia. They've got to continue to have the physical play in front and just continue to play to the last minute. Last whistle, last minute.
Going Abrams gets his shoulder on that bid from the Roughnecks, and the Wings able to control and take possession out the other way. They'll get set up in the Calgary end. Put out in front, and it's Jordan Hall off the feed from Blaze Reardon. Hall came down the middle of the field. Reardon finds him, and the Wings start off after that break with a tally at 17-11.
What a great possession by Philadelphia. Look at Reardon looking all the way, but it was Hall sprinting from the bench. The veteran, all the way in. No, not even stopping the pace, fakes a little pick, catches that ball, a little fake left, finish right. Great job by Jordan Hall, the veteran, assistant captain, has his hat trick for the day.
16th of the season for the veteran. Paul Day talked a little bit about how the numbers for Jordan Hall have not been what they've been other times in his career, but he is playing with some younger players, especially on his left side. And, that can affect your numbers, but he's been a great veteran for this team as we're going to take another look at this goal.
Yep, that left-hand side with Matt Rambo, with Blaze Reardon. It started the season with Chris Cloutier. All right, they traded him. They almost felt that they had too many lefty scorers right there. Reardon's been a model of consistency so far this year. So is Hall. Rambo right now is quiet, doesn't have any goals right now, but Reardon's been playing well. But it's Hall getting 3 goals off that left-hand side.
Not too sure what we're looking at here, but
well, don't let this shot clock expiration fool us again here, Brian, right?
So they're saying that this shot hit the post somehow or another and perhaps did not cross the line. If you're new to the game of indoor lacrosse, the way the NLL does things, so what they do is they put these replays on the scoreboard, give the coaches a chance to look at them, and as a result, the goals after every goal, they got about 30 seconds to check it out, and then they get a chance to look at it. And then they decide what they're going to do here.
Doby, it looks like it was it a double poster? Look at that upper right-hand corner. Ball comes in under the goaltender's elbow. No, sir.
Yeah.
That hits the crossbar solid and bounces out.
So we will see what the verdict is, but yeah, that's...
Oftentimes we call a shot like barred down. That's not a barred down shot. It did not hit the crossbar, goes straight down and cross goal line, the goal line extended. This ball hits and goes right out. So
and it does go down to the turf right about there, I think, maybe.
Bottom right-hand corner shot clock, so that's not an issue, which we had last time. Again, the accuracy of these shooters in today's game is quite incredible. I used to have to tell Tom Marechek and Gary Gait and Paul Gait, stop shooting at the crossbar, shoot at the net.
After review, the shot never crosses the goal line, goes off the crossbar, no goal. Philadelphia goal stands.
So that's what I thought was happening. I was trying to think in my head if I'd just spaced out for a minute or something, but they were reviewing the goal before Jordan Hall's goal, and that would have been interesting. I guess Hall's goal would not have counted if that had gone in.
Yeah. Good call by the referees. It's the right call that leads to a Philadelphia goal by Jordan Hall, his 701st point.
So the Wings win another face-off here.
Davis Allen with the great ground ball in his first game.
Finally,
in the Wells Fargo Center.
Yeah, finally getting to make some contributions on the field this game. As here comes Courier around the corner, gets the shot away. It was stopped by Del Bianco. And Calgary's going to gain possession here in midfield with 7.5 to go in this fourth quarter. Calgary moving it around. It was Simpson who got it now to Dixon. Dixon walks in, gets the shot away, and scores. Looked like Dixon wanted to cut back around in front, but he couldn't get there, and instead he decided to cut short side and had a bit of daylight in front of him all of a sudden. And he's able to beat Goa Abrams low, the 18th goal of the game for Calgary.
So shifty up top. Schul coming right at him. He sets up a little stutter step from the top right hand. Face dodge comes in. Fakes high, finishes low. Fourth goal of the game to go with 6 assists. That's 10 points on the night for Curtis Dixon.
And he is now at 30 on the year. Actually sat out the first 4 games of this season, did Dixon, while he was trying to iron out a contract issue. But he is back in full force now. And again, one of these guys that for this Calgary team has been a huge part of their history.
He's also a fan favorite. He's a superstar for the Canadian national team. One of the top players in the world, both indoor and outdoor.
61,
Curtis Dixon.
61 goals in 2016. That's the 3rd most goals ever in a season, tied for the 3rd in NLL history. Not quite there this year, but he's definitely contributed to Calgary's success.
No question about it.
Blaze Reardon sets things up with 18 seconds left on the shot clock. He'll take the bid himself, and it's stopped by Del Bianco. Reardon found a shooting lane, but Del Bianco saw it in all the way.
Reardon's been held off the goal sheet. He's got a couple assists, but does not have any goals.
And now we've got a fight. It is Eric Schul and an unidentified shirtless now Calgary player. And they are full on out here near midfield. Didn't see what precipitated this, but Eric Schul gets the crowd going a little bit. Do you know who that Calgary player is? We're gonna have to wait until he gets his jersey back on, but whoever it is gets a good bit of congratulations from his teammates.
Tell you one thing, you say, what do the Wings do? It's like one thing they do not do is they don't give up, and Eric Schul showing right there. There you fight, you scratch, you claw till the very last whistle, and Eric Schul's doing just that.
believe that's Anthony Kalinic. We got a bit of a glimpse from this camera before it got blocked by everybody going to the benches. But a good tilt.
Yep, knows better than that face rake, but these guys are going at it right away. And Anthony Kalinic, that is 81.
5 minutes for fighting. Calgary number 81, 5 minutes for fighting. 5 on 4.
So unless I heard wrong, I thought they called 83. That would actually be 2. So there was a cross check perhaps that precipitated all that. And Kalinic jumped in, which would explain why the Calgary bench was so happy to see it happen.
5 minutes for fighting. Once again, Philadelphia penalty on number 2, Eric Schul. 2 minutes for cross-check. 5 minutes for fighting.
So another power play coming up here for Calgary.
That doesn't bode well for Philadelphia. They are 100% on the night on their power play. 4 opportunities, 4 goals.
The first 2 they were able to score in just 17 seconds total. As they work it around, shot wide of the net comes to Dixon off the end boards. Dixon, cross pass, shot wide again. He'll get that rebound, will Dixon. Dixon holding out to Dutch. Dutch winds and fires. That one was deflected wide, and the Wings will get possession there. Abrams outlets to Matisse. He's down there all by his lonesome. He's got Charbonneau going with him, but now Charbonneau will peel off to the bench, and Matisse will wait for reinforcements. Here comes Courier, winds and fires, and he missed that one wide, goes off the end boards. And here come Calgary all alone. It's Wild, moves in, shoots, save made by Abrams. They will get the loose ball, will the Roughnecks, and Dixon will hang on. 18 goals here for Calgary. The most goals scored by any NLL team in a game this season is 19.
And Calgary has a great opportunity right here to tie that record.
Here's a shot and a save made by Abrams, who has gotten in the way of a few high-quality scoring chances here in the last few minutes. Long pass, just barely got to its recipient, Kevin Crowley, and he's going to think about shooting. Now he gets the shot over the shoulder, and a save made by Del Bianco. Going the other way with his Calgary, and a close range bid turned aside by Abrams as Dixon was looking for another one there.
Great save by Abrams. Boy, Dixon right on the front doorstep. Takes a hard shot to the upper corner, and Abrams ate it up.
32 saves to this point for Dixon, and now the Wings intercept the ball and coming the other way with it. A shot and a save made by Del Bianco as Chet Konecki got on his horse there for the scoring opportunity.
Little twister by Konecki, almost got that one.
Dixon behind his back, he found a man who then tried to find Doby on the far side, and Doby just could not quite get the handle on that pass. It was Dutch with the nice feed across. Now Doby will get it back from Dutch. Doby fires, save made by Abrams, penalty coming up. I take that back. That was the shot clock being reset. Some guys don't twirl their fingers as animatedly as others. Here's Osika. He'll dish it off, and Wings will get set up here back to full strength. Matt Rambo drops down to the right side. Rambo brings it in, gets the shot away, save made. This time we do have a penalty coming up. Delayed call. It's going to be on Calgary, and the Wings are going to have a power play when we come back. Timeout on the field. It has been a spirited fourth quarter here, and the fans have gotten a bit of a show. Unfortunately, the home team trails 18-11, Roughnecks with the lead here at the Wells Fargo Center. 18-11, Calgary leads the Philadelphia Wings here on PHL 17. It's time for tonight's play of the game, presented by Geico.
Well, our play of the game is delivered by Josh Courier. Look at this goal right here. Diving from behind, gets knocked on the ground, gets back up. Don't count me out, little swim move, then an acrobatic dive from behind with the Geico game. Play of the game. What a goal by Josh Courier.
And if that's not the goal of the year, it's got to be up there for consideration.
He's had a couple of those tonight, been really impressive.
We got a penalty shot here that you're going to have to explain to me in a minute, Scott, but something about a third penalty is going to result in a penalty shot for Josh Courier.
Right, so Calgary has 3 players in the box. Josh Kerr's been tapped to take the penalty shot.
Here is Courier moving in, holds, fakes, save made by Del Bianco.
One of the hardest things to do in this sport, too, is a penalty shot. Look at Del Bianco again, the athletic goaltender waiting for it. A lot of fakes in front for Courier, trying to set him up, trying to get to his right hand, trying to get it under his stick side. Big save by Del Bianco.
That's another thing they let us do at that media clinic that we had a little while ago, is penalty shots like that. Chris Collins was in goal, and he was acting like it was a big deal to stop those, but the goalie's got the advantage of what you're saying?
Well, it depends.
If it's a bunch of media guys, he definitely does.
Sure.
Wings continue to work on the power play here. It is a 5-on-3. There were 3 penalties called, I believe, as we were going to that last commercial, and that's what resulted in that penalty shot. So the Wings are a 5-on-3 here for a full 2 minutes, and they score! It's Blaze Reardon! Off the feed from Josh Courier. So the Wings get 1 on this extended power play opportunity here late in the 4th. It is 18-12.
Just such savvy play by Courier. Sets up, takes his time coming up the right-hand side, kind of surveying the situation, shopping, finds Reardon on that far side with a quick little pass, one-timer by Reardon, almost into an open net on that side. Great goal. Wings within 6. Reardon with a goal to match a couple assists or another assist on the game. Reardon's been one of the most consistent lefty scorers all season. He's at a point in every game this year. He missed the first game, didn't play, and since then has scored in every game this season.
Another great face-off win by Baptiste, and the Wings with another opportunity here. First bid is stopped off the stick of Crowley. Now they walk in, another shot, and it was stopped by Del Bianco. Kyle Matisse took the net almost clear to the end boards with his follow-through. And the Roughnecks will set things up in the Wings' end. Coming up on 2 minutes left here in this 4th quarter. Again, it was 5-0 after the first quarter, and since then, the Wings have been just about even with these Calgary Roughnecks as Dixon snuck a shot in there late on the shot clock. It's turned aside by Abrams. Going Abrams and Doug Buchan have basically taken turns in this game. Just not Buchan's day, unfortunately. He's been so solid the last 4 games for this team, and really all year long. Jordan Hall gets a loose ball, feeds it in front. Courier with another one from midair. He tucks it home. And the Wings back within 5 at 18-3.
Boy, is he fun to watch. What a goal by Josh Courier behind the net. Saw a couple fakes in the air to reach around Del Bianco for the goal. Let's take another look at it. Hall finds him sneaking up from behind in the air. Couple fakes. Little air Jordan, air Gate, air Courier with the finisher there. Great look by Hall. Courier up, stick to his left, reaching around to his right, buries it low for the goal. Great goal by Josh Courier. He's got a handful on the night as they're playing the pump-up song in the Wells Fargo Center. See if they can score 5 in the last 131.
Just another game, is that what he said a couple hours ago? 5 goals for Josh Courier. Playing against his brother in front of countless friends and family. Going Abrams is going to head to the bench. The Wings are going to put out an extra attacker here. Why not? Minute 14 left to go in the 4th. Let's see what they can do in this final 75 seconds or so. Reardon got behind one, save, got his own rebound. And that one was stopped as well.
Yeah, wow, that was a Dallas Elliott-like shot. Look at the athleticism of Del Bianco. Wow, just incredible cat-like reflexes on that shot. Thought Reardon had one there.
With the change in possession, Abrams has returned to the net, but here comes Reardon with the first bid, comes right back to him. And he gets the second opportunity there.
Just see that left knee and elbow go up to make that save. Great play by Del Bianco. He's got 45 saves on the night. That's one heck of a day in the goal.
Into the final 30 seconds. As Kevin Crowley brings it down the floor, Abrams follows. He'll head to the bench again for the extra attacker. Jordan Hall shuffling into the corner, plays it behind the net. This is Matisse. Matisse has it now to Rambo. Rambo finds Courier on the end boards, maneuvering behind the net, trying to find another way to put it. Puts it near side and their goal, but the net was off. Reardon fired it in to a mostly open net that just happened to be about 6 inches off the magnets. And they're going to take another look at this.
That's Del Bianco, pushes his own net away.
It was actually Hartnett.
Talk about a Dallas Elliott play.
Hartnett came across the back of the goal. Watch him here, coming in from your left. He's going to come across the back netting and take the goal with him. Well, maybe he didn't touch it. Somebody touched it in that traffic that came across, and that took the goal. As you can see, it's well off the pegs. Comes across to Reardon, and he puts it in. Now, that would have been in if the goal had been on the moorings.
No doubt. Now, a Philadelphia winged player did not move the goal. So let's see how they're going to call this one.
Well, we were going to get a call, and now we're going to get a chat, and now we're going to get the call.
After review, the ball never crosses through the plane of the goal. Therefore, the call on the field is confirmed. No goal. Crease violation.
Well, it crossed through the plane at some point.
Well,
they're saying before it came off, it hadn't crossed through. Is that what they're saying?
They're saying it went through the side and not across the plane of the goal.
Oh,
it did go in the net.
So they're saying the Reardon shot would have been wide if the net had been there.
Right.
I got you. Oh, they're right. Look at that. The things you learn. Well, as we look at that replay, the clock expires, and that is going to do it today here at the Wells Fargo Center. 18-13 is your final. The Calgary Roughnecks used that 5-goal run in the first quarter, and they are able to ride that to the win here today. Scott, just a good effort overall, but that's a big hole to put yourself into.
Yep, no doubt. Christian Del Bianco is the guy that we got to give credit to. What a night between the pipes for him, the goaltender for Calgary. But their offense, 18 goals on the evening, one shy of a record this year.
We'll be back to wrap things up in just a moment. 18-13 is your final here at the Wells Fargo Center. 18-13 is your final. The Calgary Roughnecks spoil the final home game of the year for the Philadelphia Wings. Wings still have 3 more to go, all on the road, but what a game, Scott, for Josh Courier playing against his brother, and just a huge day for him.
What a day for Josh Courier, number 27. 5 goals, 1 assist on the night, and 1 goal better than the other every time. Acrobatic dive from behind, acrobatic dive from in front. Josh Courier just getting it done every which way for the Philadelphia Wings. What a great game by number 27, Josh Courier.
That's the most goals in a game for a Wing this year. You see the overall numbers. Wings do outshoot Calgary, but a great game for the goaltender from the Roughnecks, Del Bianco, to steal the show.
Christian Del Bianco, 46 saves on the night. Really impressive, and look at that power play, 4 of 5 for Calgary. Really impressive offensive effort by the Roughnecks.
Well, we thank you very much for joining us today for Philadelphia Wings lacrosse action. Once again, today's final score is Calgary 18, Philadelphia 13. Visit NLL.com for an all-access pass to the National Lacrosse League and get the latest news, highlight stories, and more. For Scott Gabrielson and Aaron Dolan, I'm Ryan Smith. Just for Laughs, Gags is next on PHL 17.
You have been watching a special presentation of the National Lacrosse League.